Hello, testing. Hello, testing. Welcome, everybody. We're just waiting a minute to get started. Chris. So we're going to be starting this this meeting off with basically a meditation journey. So basically we're going to be doing a shamanic journey into ourselves, so you can prepare to relax basically. Okay, I'm waiting for more people to join. Welcome, Marina. So I'm just waiting for a couple of people to join, but basically this is going to be a shamanic journey to start us off for the group meeting today. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. And yeah, so you can just get comfortable for a meditation, shamanic journey into yourself, and we'll start in just a moment when maybe one more person joins or something. Yeah. And today's course is going to be all about going into the chakras and basically talking about how chakras can block us and how chakras can block us, and yeah. Okay, I should. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I should probably mention that I can't hear you right now. I can only speak because of the microphone that I'm using. So if I talked over you or something, I apologize. Okay, so hi, Astrid. All right, so we have some more people joining, so I think I'm gonna start. For the people joining, I'm just gonna mute everybody. So if you're talking right now, my apologies. I'm going to mute everybody to start off. So just warning you guys that that's what's happening right now.
There we go.
So I'm gonna ask everybody to stay on mute for right now because I'm starting off with the meditation. So if I could just ask everybody to put themselves on mute and we can say hi at after the meditation maybe. Okay, cool. So everybody is, all right, cool. So I'm gonna start. If everybody could get as comfortable as possible, if everybody could really get into themselves and prepare themselves for a journey. We're going to be doing a journey into the earth. It's going to be a meditation and journey into loving the earth and into your love for the earth, and to allow yourself to be healed by the earth and healed by the earth's love. So I always want to start off every, maybe not everyone, but for so far it feels good. I want to start off the group meetings with a meditation because, and also the reason I have my camera off is because it's not supposed to be a visual experience. It's supposed to be a feeling experience. So I'm allowing you guys to just feel this experience with me, to be able to relax and be able to let go. And this way we really are going to be able to clear the borders between each other for when we start actually communicating in a group meeting. So we're basically doing this to help release blocks and to help just activate you into the energy of what we want to be doing for this group meeting. We're going to be starting off with this journey into the earth because our group meeting is based off the chakras. So each of the chakras is something that we're going to talk about today, and that's why I wanted to start with earth, because it gets you in tune with your body, with the different centers in your body, and being able to really feel into what I'm saying. So that's why we're starting in with this connection. So again, breathing into yourself, breathing into your body. You can maybe take a deep breath in through the stomach, breathing in and out. On the out breath, I invite everybody to make that AH sound. It literally is going to activate a part of your brain, the vagus nerve in your brain, that basically says, you are safe. It is time to relax now. You can be safe. So you only would ever make that sound if you felt safe. So that's why that sound is very important to this meditation. So breathing in deep into the stomach. And on the exhale, like a wave coming in to wash over you, breathing in. And allowing the wave to wash away. Breathing in to your body. And allowing the wave to wash away. Breathing in deep into your stomach or into your spine, whichever you feel more comfortable, whichever feels safest to you. Breathing in. Breathing in. Now, I want to allow you to take this journey into your body, and I want you to connect in with your heart space. I want you to find your heart, and I want you to allow your consciousness to feel into your heart, to understand the point of view of your heart. And as the toroidal field of your heart space moves outwards and inwards and outwards and inwards, just like your breath, just like the movement of the waves of the ocean, you're going to carry yourself deeper and deeper into your heart. You're going to carry yourself deeper and deeper into your body, and you are going to let yourself find the aspect of your heart space that is connected to the cosmos, that is connected to the stars in the night sky, and through your heart space, you are now swimming through an array of stars. You are now swimming through our solar system, and You're taking your consciousness to the moon of our solar system. And you're starting this visualization coming in through the heart space, through these stars, as an astronaut on the moon. And as you get out of your spaceship, you put both feet onto the moon and you look down at the earth. You see our blue and green planet. You see what it looks like from an objective view as it spins, as it turns, as it sways in the waves of the stars, as it sways in the waves of the cosmos. And you're allowing yourself to see Earth, to see Mother Gaia from the point of view of an alien, from the point of view of the stars, from the point of view of the cosmos. You are seeing Earth here and now. And you get into your spaceship and it takes off. It takes off into the sea of stars and it thrusts through into the Earth's atmosphere. And you're landing 1, 2, 3. You're landing on Earth. You're landing in a field on Earth. You're landing in a beautiful field with the sky above you again, with the blue sky above you. Allowing yourself to get out of the ship, as this is your astral, as this is your body, as this is your mind creating this moment in the astral. The ship disappears with the flick of your finger, and now it is nothing but you and the earth around you. You see a stream next to you running, water purifying, and you walk up to the stream. The stream is cold and shallow, and the rocks around it feel sturdy and safe and dry. They're not slimy, they're not falling into the water. They're just sturdy, maybe even big enough for you to sit down if you'd like. Getting into the river or standing a foot into the river, it only reaches the water to your ankles, and you can feel the water swaying past your feet. I want you to allow roots to grow underneath the soles of your feet and push through the stream of the water into the soil of the earth. With the sky above you, with water running over your feet, and with the earth all around you, you're allowing your roots to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the soil of the earth. And as they go deeper, you begin to take in Mother Gaia's energy into your body. You begin to allow her white light energy to flow through the roots, the energy roots running to the soles of your feet. And I want you to feel all this energy flowing into your body. The primal energy of the earth is flowing. Feel yourself connecting with the earth. Feel her consciousness as you connect in with her energy. Just taking a moment to take in this moment. As you look up, the beautiful sun is coming out of the clouds and the sky starts to clear up. The sun's rays are soaking into your head and soaking into your body, and you're gaining cosmic nourishment through the sunlight. And as the earth soil energy is still coming through you, you're cleansing and connecting to both earth and the cosmos. You're cleansing and connecting to this moment, to this now, to yourself. And I want you to see, as the earth's energies grant you with the animals, with the children of the earth. What animal do you see? Is there a bird flying by? What bird would it be? Is there a rabbit or a deer? What animals are going to gift you at this moment? Is there flowers in this area? Is there mountains or trees, or mountains and trees? What is in your surroundings? Can you hear an animal in the distance that you maybe cannot see? What is that in the distance? Do you hear it? It's the swishing of waves. It's the swishing of ocean waves. And as you look behind you, a path opens up, and you begin to follow this forest path onto the beach. You feel the soil of the earth under your feet, and you begin to walk towards the beach. As you get on the beach, you feel your feet ground into the sand. You can feel the warmth of the sand and the wind of ocean spray on your hair. Mother Earth is inviting you in to her. She is inviting you to experience that you are always connected to her. She is inviting you to experience that you are her, that you are a part of her. She is inviting you to experience this moment as one with her. She is inviting you to see that your heart chakras are connected. And as you walk along the beach and you see the mountains tipping off the horizon, as you see the ocean waves rushing beyond you, and you can feel the electromagnetic field of the ocean and the magnitude of its power and the biodiversity of its life, feeling into the dolphins that may be underneath this ocean, the coral reefs, the fish, the whales, the sharks. Maybe there could be a little turtle swimming in the distance. What flowers would be next to this ocean? What flowers would grow in this area? Can you see bushes of flowers maybe next to you or off in the distance? I want you to continue walking along this beach, and as you put one foot slowly in front of the other, light as a feather, your eyes meet a deep cave, and this cave invites you in. I want you to look at the entrance of the cave as you walk closer and closer and closer. And the whole of the cave envelops you. The whole of the cave invites you in. And as you walk into the cave, closer and closer, nothing but void and darkness surrounds you. Not to fear, because within a moment, a fairy comes flying in, and she lights up your way like a candle, flying into the distance. And you can see more clearly now that the cave is in fact not shallow at all, but it is deep. It goes deep into the earth, and it is inviting you to follow it. Almost as if man-made stairs carried you down, your feet began to follow deeper into this cave. Deeper and deeper into the earth's womb you walk. Deeper and deeper into your connection with Mother Earth you walk. As you feel the soil around you, as you feel the depth of the earth herself, as you feel her primal energy activating and allowing to feel into your acceptance and your breath. When you walk to the bottom of the cave, what you see is a beautiful crystal lake and a single bed of moss and the earth soil waiting for you. You go to this bed of moss and you lie your body down. You look to your left and you see the water rushing in, but you trust that this water will not touch you. This magical healing water glows with essence as you lie down on this bed of moss. The earth invites you to think of all the beautiful things you love about yourself. The earth invites you to feel into self-acceptance, to self-trust. The earth invites you to feel into this moment within yourself. She is here holding you. She is here carrying you. She is here with you. I want you to feel into your love for the earth, your favorite fruits and vegetables, imagining a beautiful jungle with ripe nectar, with animals, flora and fauna, with animals living on the underbrush of the jungle, with animals living inside the underbrush of the jungle, with animals living atop the canopies of the jungle and in the canopies of the jungle. Feeling into this beautiful bond and relationship that these different elements have to become one to work with each other, even in survival, even in the interaction of death. The forest is working with itself to grow and to flourish. Feel into the beauty of your light, the beauty of your body made of earth itself, your body made of water, your body made of soil. Feel into the beauty of the air that could be represented by the frequency of your thoughts as they fly and sing. For the frequency of the fire within the passion of your soul. You are the earth, you are made up of the earth, and the earth is you. You are an extension of the earth, feeling yourself lying on this bed of soil. Do you really see much of a difference between this beautiful earth and yourself lying there like a child in a cradle? Can you not see that you are an extension of her and that she is an extension of you in this beautiful relationship, in this beautiful bond that you two share? She is here for you. She is holding you. I want you to feel into how much she loves you, how much she would never, ever think of you as a failure, how much she is always a kind, unconditional, loving mother who is holding you and waiting for you to move through your cycles, whether they are considered bad or good. She is allowing you to move through your cycles as you need to. She is allowing you to become as you need to. She would never, ever be upset at you for being yourself, for failing. She knows that this is a part of your cycles. And she asks you to not be so hard on yourself as well. And she asks you to find acceptance for all that you are, and for allowing and finding acceptance for others as well, for all that they are as well. And the earth gives you your boundaries. The earth gives you your safety. Allow yourself to feel in to the energy of the earth as she holds you. And I want you to get up from the bed of moss and start walking into the crystal lake. This crystal lake is really a hot spring, and it is perfectly warm and it is perfectly delicious. As you walk towards it, you feel the warmth fall onto your body as it holds you, and you are asking to allow any worries or any self-hate or any energy that needs to be cleared right now from you, from your soul, from not from your soul, from yourself, from your mind, from your body. Allow this water to cleanse you, no matter if it is clear and iridescent or turquoise and blue. This water will appear as you want it to. Maybe there's even some natural amethyst growing on the cave walls, climbing all the way up to the ceiling, allowing yourself to be cleansed, allowing yourself to feel into this moment exactly as it is. Now, I want you to start walking back up the cave, climbing the stairs that brought you here. The light of the ocean blinds you as you begin to find rhythm with it once more. And you allow yourself to penetrate the light and to be a part of the light and to feel yourself as the light once more. And I want you to stay with this moment as long as you need to. And I want you to feel how much the earth loves you. And I want you to feel how much you love the earth. I want you to give that love to each other in this moment. And as you are ready, you can allow yourself to slowly come out of this journey and to slowly find your feet on the floor in your room, in your place, to feel into the surroundings around you. I'm gonna let you guys wake up at your own pace, and if people could please wait a moment before they unmake themselves so that some other people can have that moment of peace to wake up from as well. If you guys wanna unmute and mic at this point, you can just chat amongst yourselves for a little while, and I'm just gonna take a moment before we start our course content.
Hello, everyone. How are you today?
Starting in 1 moment, guys. Thank you for your patience.
Hi, Gabrielle.
Maybe discuss amongst yourselves how that meditation was for you, what you found from it. And I'm just going to call in a portal of angels and all of our guides and everybody who wants to join us right now to join us and to be welcome into this meeting and into this moment.
Hi, Gabrielle. Can you hear me at all?
Can hear you fine.
Ah, brilliant. Thanks, buddy. I've got my headphones on. It just feels a little bit strange. Wasn't sure if anyone could hear me. Thanks. How are you? You well?
So I can actually hear you guys now. So
Yeah,
how
hi.
did you find that
And we can
meditation?
see you, your video.
1 second.
There we go.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
So
certainly distressed me, I think.
absolutely. Okay. So how did you guys find the meditation? What was your experience with it?
I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was quite sort of de-stressing. It just seemed to take a lot of the worries of the day away, and yeah, sort of brought me into quite a relaxed, peaceful zone. Yeah,
Awesome.
feel good.
Gabriel, what did you think? I'm poking on people with their mic off. Just easiest.
I don't know if I have time just describing these experiences. It's relaxing, and there was so many different impressions from the cave, and it was really like this being inside the earth was really
Oh yeah.
great feeling for me, and was all full of crystals
Yes.
on my journey, and there was an elephant,
That's
which is
awesome.
one of my important animals.
Very cool. That's why I did it like that, so you could experience the earth and actually connecting with the earth, going into the earth, becoming a part of the earth almost. Okay, so I'm just going to basically take my earphones out to start because I'm getting a lag on my mic versus my other device. So if you guys could mute yourself at this point, I'm going to go into the course content and then we'll be able to talk again. Okay, awesome. So for this course, for this group program, we're going to be focusing on the chakras. So again, if everybody could just mute themselves. Chris, you're still unmuted just so that we don't get like backdrop sound
Yeah.
during the conference. Thank you for that. So to start off, we're going to be talking about the root chakra because we just went deep into the earth. So we're going to get into the root chakra. We're going to talk about what you can do to heal the root chakra, what the blocks of the root chakra are. One second. Yeah, so we're going to... Just 1 second, guys. Sorry, just fixing technical difficulties. All right, so we're really good to go now. So we're going to be talking about the root chakra first. So the first thing that I'm going to present to you guys is basically the emotional system of each of these chakras. Obviously, the place of the root chakra is near the back of your spine. So in meditation, if you ever want to connect to your root chakra, you can connect to like a lotus flower at the base of your spine. I'm not sure if anyone's ever really heard that type of meditation before, but for me, I find it's really powerful to see the chakra for what it is on a clairvoyant level. Like literally, you'll probably be able to tune into what the chakra looks like through your third eye. I would honestly say that that would be super easy for anyone, no matter how connected or disconnected you are from your third eye. I feel like it's going to be super, super easy to be able to clairvoyantly see the different energy balls that is the chakras. So we're talking about red with the root chakra. And so the color red itself is very, very healing. If you want to look at crystals that are going to help heal the root chakra, you want to look at red crystals. You want to look at crystals that represent black, so like black obsidian, black onyx, black agate. If you want to look at chakra, like for chakra healing, so any red crystals. So the only red crystals I can really think of are garnet and also garnet and fire agate. So those are some of the crystals that are good for healing the root chakra, working with the root chakra. So you're really focusing on color when you're talking about the chakras, because the frequency of the color is like just like a radio set. The frequency of the color of red is the frequency of the root chakra itself. Red Jasper, yeah. So I wanted to give a totem animal for each root chakra so that you can feel the energy and so that you can ask this animal to help you heal the root chakra. So for me, I picked out, you can choose a different totem animal for the root chakra, by the way, but I picked the black bear because it is powerful and it is like, he represents strength. So for the root chakra itself, we're going to get into the emotions now. So the number one emotion of the root chakra when it's in alignment is safety. The number one emotion when the root chakra is in alignment is safety, is feeling safe. And if you don't feel safe, you're probably going to be feeling either fear or anxiety or a mix of the two. Anxiety is basically, I would say, one level up from fear. So fear is like the ultimate, like it's the lower vibration from anxiety. It's basically like, holy shit, I don't know what's going to happen. This is horrible. That's like true fear. And anxiety is kind of like a level up where you're just like really anxious about it, but you're not like super afraid. You're a little afraid, but it's not like fear itself. It's not like hardcore fear. So anxiety is kind of like a little bit higher of a vibration from fear. And it's also telling you when you're experiencing a lot of fear, a lot of self-doubt. So we want to look at healing safety when we talk about the root chakra. So if you have root chakra issues, you're going to want to look at safety, and you want to look at what in your life makes you feel unsafe. For me, I had to do this at one point because for me, like the root chakra was something that I struggled the most with, the actual like feeling safe. I felt like severely unsafe in my life. And so I had to look at that and I had to ask myself, what is making me feel unsafe? Why do I feel unsafe? And the answer that kind of came up there was basically a disconnection and feeling alone and isolation. And also the major one was a disconnection from the earth. So I felt very, very disconnected from the earth. And this is usually what we're dealing with when we're talking about the root chakra being out of alignment. all the chakras are intrinsically connected. So when we're talking about the root chakra and the earth chakra, they both have that connection to the earth. They both need that connection to the earth. So the root chakra is also intrinsically connected to the earth. It is the base chakra for connecting to the earth. So basically, we need to focus on safety if we want to heal the root chakra, and the way to heal through safety is by connecting with the earth. That's why we did that journey into the earth. That's why we did that meditation journey into the earth, is so that we could connect with safety, and so that we could connect with the earth's energies, and so that we could feel the safety of being alive, of being connected to the earth, of being connected to ourselves. And a huge part of safety is also connecting to yourself and to self-worth, because when you don't feel like you have strong self-worth, when you don't feel like you have strong safety, you feel this disconnection, and that's where the anxiety is coming from. Really, anxiety and fear is like the ultimate like idea of like, I'm not connected to my higher self right now, because when you're connected to your higher self, you know that you're safe. And it's not like, oh, this is a bad thing, or you're like not spiritual because you know, you had a moment of disalignment where you're not connected to your higher self. It's none of that. But when you feel this fear or this anxiety, it's usually a sign that you're completely disconnected from your higher self in that moment, which means that you're feeling disalignment with your soul stream. And you're feeling basically like that separation between you and your soul stream, which is why you're unsure if you're going to be okay, or why you're unsure if something is going to hurt you. So that is really root chakra, is finding alignment with your higher self, finding connection with your higher self, connecting with the earth, and feeling into this moment like nothing's gonna hurt me. Nothing can hurt me. Nothing can hurt me because I'm connected to the earth, because I'm connected to myself, because I am a creator. And of course, it goes to the higher chakras. It goes into sacral. It goes into solar plexus. It goes into the heart chakra. All chakras are connected. That's why it's important that you never just say like, oh, my root chakra is out of alignment. That's the only one I'm going to work on now. It's not good. You should always be working with and feeling into all of the chakras. And if you have an issue with the root chakra, well, it's just going to help so much more if you focus on the other chakras, because they're all, you know, even though they're each their own specific frequency, to help that frequency get into alignment, you need the other frequencies to find alignment, to find a lineup with that energy. So we're going to work a little bit on how to create safety for yourself in like the one-on-one sessions afterwards. So I'm just going to talk about more ways that you can heal the root chakra, and more signs that the root chakra has a block or that it's out of alignment. So when we're looking at root chakra, we're also looking at boundaries. And if you don't have strong boundaries, the disalignment or the block is going to look like defensive boundaries. So you need boundaries everywhere to feel safe. Like you're overdoing the boundaries. You're like, I need a freaking brick wall in front of me when I go see my family. So when you're overdoing the boundaries, or when you're underdoing them, you're letting people walk all over you. You're letting people do whatever they want with you, and you're not feeling like you have a say, and you're not feeling respected in your space, and you're not feeling respected with other people and how they're interacting with your space, with your body, or with your energy, with your soul, with your time, with your emotional system. Maybe they're invalidating you. So this is not having strong boundaries. So ways to heal the root chakra other than focus on safety, which we're going to do in the one-on-one sessions, is stomping, primal dance, drumming, chanting, like a primal chant, You can use like herbs, like burning sage. Like seriously, like every time I do a session, every time I get on with you guys, I light up some Palo Santo or some sage because it helps me ground into the earth. It helps me feel safe. It helps me feel calm. It clears my energy. So that is extremely grounding. Drinking herbal tea, eating root vegetables, eating just fruits and vegetables in general. Um, anytime you're connecting with your body, anytime you're connecting with the earth, going into the forest is actually really, really good for your root chakra, because it'll test you. The forest will be this this image of your peace and your safety on earth, but if your root chakra is out of balance, the forest can also be like feeling like a rabbit in a wolf den, or feeling like there's like a predator at bay. But you know, you can help heal that aspect of yourself by realizing like, why am I so afraid? Like it's just a forest. So you can use the forest to heal your root chakra, to heal your earth, any connection with nature. Anytime you're connecting with a tree, the consciousness of a tree, the consciousness of a river, the consciousness of a lake, the consciousness of an animal, anytime you are basically channeling and connecting in with the world around you, you can help connect to Mother Earth, and you can help heal yourself, heal your root chakra. So the number one way, connect with the earth, connect with yourself. So we're moving on to the sacral chakra now. So shame is the number one block that, you know, comes up in the sacral chakra. And when we're talking about shame, what's the opposition of shame? Shame happens from not feeling understood, feeling wronged, feeling like someone is putting like their finger against you and saying like you did something wrong. So shame is a disconnection with yourself and a disconnection with the world around you. So the opposition, so when the sacral chakra is in alignment, when you're not feeling shame, what are you going to be feeling? You're going to be feeling intimacy and connection. So connection with the world around you, connection with animals, connection with plant life, connection with your friends and family, connection with a partner or a lover, connection with yourself is honestly the most important one, because it's where it starts to help you form a deeper connection with the world around you. Because if you're disconnected from yourself, it's not that you need that, but it's definitely a good place to start, is to connect with yourself. So we are definitely going to be going into shame as well when we work with the one-on-ones. So if you're someone who's like, yeah, raising my hand, like I need help with shame, like we'll work with you with the one-on-ones, we'll work on shame. So the other part of the sacral chakra is if you're experiencing fear of sexual intimacy, or if you have like traumatic sexual trauma, this is all things that can be found in the sacral chakra. So clearing of like, so a really good exercise that I have found to clear like past sexual trauma, past sexual issues, is like you light a candle, and with like an ashtray or a place that you can like easily dispose of like a burnt piece of paper, you basically write down either like an ex-lover or like the energy of someone. It doesn't even have to be a sexual encounter. It could be like a friend that you're no longer like close with, and that you want like, you know, the energy that they interacted with you with that maybe put you down or made you feel powerless. You put their name on a piece of paper, you put it into the flame, you let it burn, and then you put it into the ashtray for fire hazards. Disclaimer, be careful, fire is dangerous, it may burn down your house. I am not responsible for any fire hazards. Use with caution. So that is the sacral chakra, and it is also body positivity, or not feeling positive about your body, or like not even your body, like yourself, like not feeling good about yourself is another sign of shame. And by the way, just to backtrack really quickly, something that I forgot to mention in the root chakra is you're going to be feeling guilt. So guilt happens in the root chakra. And the root chakra also has to do with survival. So you can also look at the root chakra, look at survival, and you can say, okay, so the opposite of not being able to survive would be greed, would be hunger, would be thirst, would be guilt. So these are all things that happen when you don't feel like you can survive. And in the root chakra, we're also looking at when it's in alignment, you have a pragmatic mind. And when it's in like out of alignment, you would have a confused mind. So when it's in alignment, pragmatic; when you're out of alignment, confused. So that is some add-on to the root chakra. We talked mostly about what's going on in the sacral chakra. So basically the major one is shame and needing to find a deeper intimacy with the world around you, a deeper intimacy with yourself. Being self-acceptance is really important for the sacral chakra. So again, for the sacral chakra, you're looking at an orange ball of energy that is located just below your navel, just below your stomach. Just below your belly button, basically, is where the sacral chakra is. It's an orange ball of energy. And the totem animal that I chose for the sacral chakra is the otter. So the reason that I chose otter for this one is because it's all about playing with one another, playing with the fact that you're alive, just having fun. Sacral chakra is about reconnecting to your childhood innocence. And it's about creativity. When you are feeling a lack of purpose, when you're feeling a lack of intention, when you're feeling a lack of energy, this is a sign that you're feeling a lack of creativity and that you have an energy block in your sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is very much your center for life itself, for being alive and for connection. So you can use laughter, you can use play. And I was also thinking that because the sacral chakra is your center for creativity, and it's like a very feminine chakra actually, that you could use abstract dance to heal it. So creative dance, freestyle dance. You could also use a violin or piano, or like those like very like feminine type of musical instruments, or like even just listening to it. If you don't want to like start learning how to play piano, to just like listen to the piano. So these are some ways to heal your sacral chakra. And also, of course, orange, so eating oranges. So any type of fruit or vegetable that represents the chakra color is really healing. So oranges for sacral chakra, or orange peppers is another one. So that's really it for sacral chakra. So basically healing sexual trauma with soul retrieval or the completion process, healing body positivity, healing shame, going into shame, and basically just connecting with yourself and finding self-acceptance with who you are with your life on earth. And this is going to bring in more energy. It's going to help you feel more creative. It's going to help you feel back into your purpose and to who you are. So the third one coming up, solar plexus region. So that is a yellow ball of energy that is connected to the sun itself, to your power, to your self-worth. You're going to find that like midsection of your stomach. So right between your, like the bottom of your chest, the baseline of your chest, and basically halfway through your stomach. So between like halfway through your belly button region and basically the bottom of your chest is where that little ball of sun is. It's right over your stomach. A lot of people think it's in your stomach because it's connected to your stomach, but the center point is really pretty much over your stomach, or at the very like top region is where it starts. So solar plexus is power, and if you are not in alignment with your power, if you're not in alignment with self-worth, and everybody here who is having trouble with that probably knows that they're having trouble with that. This is something that we are really going to work on in this program, is how to find your empowerment, because empowerment literally will boost you into your heart space. And it's not even really good to try to force yourself into your heart space if you are not in a place of power. The reason for this is the heart space is your gateway between the physical chakras and the non-physical chakras. So you don't even really see your heart space until you're into your solar plexus region. So for the solar plexus region, I chose eagle as a totem animal. You can choose your own totem animal again for solar plexus, but I feel like eagles hold a lot of power. And okay, so eagle, all right. So eagles hold a lot of power, and yeah, so we're talking about self-empowerment, we're talking about self-worth, we're talking about self-empowerment, we're talking about self-worth, and we are talking about self-trust. So trust with the universe, trust with yourself. If you have a problem trusting yourself or trusting the universe, this is something that you need to work on in your place of empowerment. In the solar plexus region, you also have anger, or you have you can have healthy anger, or you can have anger that is basically either repressed, or anger where it's not that any anger can be considered unhealthy, but when you start using anger as an action, so when you start using anger in a negative way with an action towards someone or an action towards yourself, that's considered like overdoing anger or not having anger in alignment. But basically anger is found in your solar plexus region, and it is because anger is an indicator that you need to protect your boundaries, that you need to protect yourself, that you need to stand up for yourself, that you need to feel into a space of self-worth. So in the solar plexus region, it's really moving through your body. It's really moving through actions. If you have your solar plexus in alignment, you're going to be able to manifest things quite easily. You're going to be able to send your message out to the universe and to control your life. When you're in alignment with your solar plexus, you don't feel as much confusion. Confusion is like, I don't know what's happening. I'm not really sure what's happening right now. So this is like that energy within your solar plexus that says like, I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know that I have power over this situation. Solar plexus is also taking responsibility. So taking responsibility for your life, taking responsibility for the way that your life is going, taking responsibility for yourself, taking responsibility, also just feeling into the responsibility that other people have played in your life, and you know what is not your fault, what was their action, what do they need to take responsibility for. So also when you're in the solar plexus and it is out of alignment, or the lower chakras are out of alignment in general, you're going to feel a sense of victimization. The solar plexus is literally like, when the solar plexus is super out of alignment, this is how we have rape. This is how we have murders. This is how we have a type of energy where someone is completely trying to take away your power, completely trying to control you 100%. They're literally on the same vibration. The victim and the perpetrator are literally on the exact same vibration of victimization, except for one person is experiencing victimization and one person is basically experiencing utter powerlessness, so that they're trying to take their power back through killing someone or through hurting someone else. So it's just to give you an understanding that this is what ultimate powerlessness looks like. This is when you're super, super, super out of alignment with your power, is when you actually go and try to take your power from someone else. And this can happen in like less severe forms, or we think of them as less severe, like narcissists and emotional abusers, and situations like that. So the major way that you can take power back in your solar plexus is to feel into your sense of power. That's the only way you can do it, is that you can find self-worth. And, you know, wherever you are on your journey of self-worth, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror, or I want you to look at yourself objectively and say like, hey, look, I could love myself so much more than this. I could appreciate myself so much more than this. Why do I pick on myself so much of the time? I'm awesome. I'm great. And that's not narcissism. Self-love is not narcissism. It has nothing to do with anybody else except for realizing your ultimate power, realizing your ultimate place in this universe, realizing your ultimate self, your authentic self, and reaching out into this world. So that is how you can heal the solar plexus. And I work a lot with the chakras when I'm working with people one-on-one, because I know that it's these different blocks that are literally oriented in like the different levels of the chakras that we can help heal. And it just helps me categorize it for people, so I can say like, okay, so this is why you're feeling powerless. This is why you're not able to manifest that stuff. This is maybe why money is always an issue for you, because you're not really seeing how amazing you are, and you're not really seeing how powerful you are. And you know, this is what we need to work on, is to allow you to have this self-worth, and is to really see the beauty of yourself. What I always tell people when they're struggling with self-worth is the idea that you are a gift from the earth. You are a gift to this earth. Hi, Agaya, thank you for joining. We're having our conference right now, so if you could please keep your mic on off. Thank you, sweetie. So when we're talking about healing the chakras, and when we're talking about self-worth, what I usually tell people is you are a gift to this earth. You are a gift to this universe. It is literally every time you're breathing, just by your essence here, just by having your name and your sense of energy, you are important, because you are always sending a frequency message of what it's like to be you to the entire universe. And you are connected to your brothers and sisters by the earth consciousness grid. And this is why you're always important, and why you're always connecting to the entire universe, and why you're making a difference. No matter what, you are making a difference. So this is what I like to really focus on when people are having self-worth issues, because you know, you're not alone, and you're not ridiculous for feeling like this. Everything in the society that we have lived in is basically not directed to empowering you. So it makes all the sense in the world that so many people are struggling with disempowerment, because that's what the people that are higher up want. And guess what? This is why the people higher up want this, because their solar plexus is not in alignment either. But their action within the solar plexus, even though we're experiencing the disempowerment, they're experiencing being power hungry. They don't really have their power in alignment either. This is why they need to feed on the world's power, on everybody else's power, because their solar plexus is like way out of alignment in the other direction of wanting greed and wanting too much power. So this is why they have disempowered you. This is why they have set things up to disempower you. So let's get to the heart chakra. What happens when your heart chakra is out of alignment? So we're looking at the color green, a ball of green at the very center of your chest, at the very center of your heart space. So if you can feel into your heart space, if you can feel into your chest, if you can feel into this space of power, what happens when the heart chakra is out of alignment? The first major thing that happens is that you have an intense heart wall. You feel depression, you feel sadness, you feel like nobody touch me, please stay away from me. You don't want to really connect with people. You push people away constantly. You have intimacy issues. These are a sign that the heart chakra is not fully in alignment, is this sadness, this fear. And it doesn't mean that you're not a heart-spaced being because you're experiencing this, but it does mean that you need to go deeper into the heart space, because a big, huge part of the heart space is healing those heart walls, is healing that sadness. That's the biggest key into your heart space, is to heal yourself, to heal your pain, to heal your fragmentation, and to connect with your heart, to connect with yourself, to connect with past pains, to connect with current pains, and to really just say, I'm here for you. And this is you talking to yourself. I'm completely here with you. I'm here for you. I understand you. I want to take care of you. I want to do this your way. This is self-empowerment, and this is self-love. So when your heart space is in alignment, you're going to be feeling an ultimate love connection with the universe, with yourself, with the people in this universe. Love, and feeling oneness is the biggest sign that you're in your heart space. Feeling love for yourself, feeling love for others. This is what truly entering the heart space means, is once you've worked past that need for healing, there's two aspects to the heart space that you find. So the doorway in is healing, and then when you get past that wall of healing, there's two aspects of the heart space that are there. One is love and connection with all that is, and with that love and connection, and with that consciousness, and with that awareness, you also feel the pain of the entire earth. You also feel the pain of your brothers and sisters. You also feel, okay, like, yes, I'm feeling this love and connection right now, but I know that there are so many other people that I'm connected to through, this earth consciousness grid that feel like shit. And you can feel into that. That's what true awareness is not only feeling that love connection to all that is, but also having complete awareness for what is out of alignment with the collective. And this is when you start entering into really fulfilling your mission here on earth, your light worker mission or starseed mission, or whatever you want to label it as or call it. But really, it's just your purpose here to help the collective heal, and to help the collective move into their next level of ascension from where they are, and what you're bringing in and offering from your space of helping the collective growth, from helping the collective healing. So when you step into your heart space, you're also stepping into your divine mission and purpose on this earth. So the most major thing that I can stress for healing the heart space is, first of all, green vegetables, green broccoli, kale, spinach, to sing. Singing is really good for throat chakra expression as well, but it's also, you can sing from the heart, and you can connect in with your heart when you're singing, because singing is really self-love. So the most major aspect that you can help heal the heart wall is through self-love. And sometimes self-love might be healing fragmentation through either completion process or shadow work or soul retrieval, which is what we're going to be learning throughout the course. So self-love is the doorway to healing your heart, and you can do that by positivity, or you can do that by being present with yourself. So self-love could literally be asking yourself, what would be a self-loving decision right now? How can I love myself more in this very moment? What can I do for myself in every single moment? And that's self-love. So taking it up to the throat chakra, when the throat chakra is out of alignment, you basically you experience silence and not being able to speak up for yourself. And when the throat chakra is in alignment, you're able to express yourself on multiple levels. You are allowed to wear your authentic expression. Again, you're going to feel very inauthentic if you have trouble with the throat chakra. You're going to feel like you can't say what you need to say. You're going to feel tested against other people's boundaries. You're going to feel tested against other people's belief systems. And you're going to basically hold onto your silence and hold onto not expressing your true self. It's literally like a wall of resistance that comes up within your body and says like, I am holding on to the fact that I should not express myself right now. It's literally like you're grasping on to the disability to express yourself. So it's not even something, it's not the lack of what you're experiencing, it's the fact that you're holding on to that resistance of, I can't be authentic, I can't express myself. So through healing the throat chakra, I can really recommend journaling. I can really recommend singing. I can really recommend playing with the color blue, any sort of artistic work like doodling, drawing, healing through color, healing through sight. So looking at artwork or creating artwork, through doing an awesome sport, through expressing yourself. Shout out for Astrid for her awesome dances. That's super expressive. That's expressing her body. She does really awesome, I think it's like gymnastics and stuff. I'm not really sure what to call it, but it's super awesome. So that's expression, is getting into what you love, expressing what you love through your innate creativity. That's what it is to express the throat chakra. So going into the third eye, this is where we're basically seeing things on an intuitive level. We're hearing things on an intuitive level, smelling, just that innate knowing, that innate intuition. And if you are out of alignment with your third eye, then you're not going to be able to access your intuition, and you're not going to be able to access your innate ability to see and feel and stuff. And for those of you who are really like wanting to connect with your guides more and wanting to just open up your third eye more, I really recommend going in through the heart space and through a place of empowerment in your solar plexus. You want to develop the solar plexus and the heart space first, because those combined connective energies feed into the third eye and connect with the third eye. If you're missing those links when you're opening up the third eye, for those people who like force their third eye to open, you're basically accessing universal dimension without your place of power and without your place of love. And so that can get dangerous, and you're not going to be connecting with very nice things. It's not like 100% you should be scared, but obviously like you don't have to be perfectly in alignment with your heart space and your solar plexus. But the more out of alignment you are, the more things that you could call in that are basically not a pleasant experience. So the last one is the crown chakra. And this is the one frequency or energy of the crown chakra. When the crown chakra is in alignment, you acknowledge the idea of oneness. When the crown chakra is out of alignment, you can't acknowledge oneness and you only see duality. So it's oneness versus duality, basically. Oneness can go even deeper than that, because you can look at source and you can say that basically you can't even describe it as oneness. You can't even describe the universe as oneness, because you can't even use a descriptive word to describe the universe. It just is. So it is all that is. You can't describe it with anything really, but for the sake of human understanding, we like to understand it through oneness. Oneness is the most prominent way to heal our idea of duality. This is why the teachers on earth today are teaching about oneness, even though there is a concept beyond oneness that can come in through your crown chakra. The way you stop experiencing duality is to acknowledge the validity of oneness. So yeah, that is our little chakra 101 development. So I would like to open up the stage to basically talk openly between each other for maybe a minute or so, and then I'm going to open up into doing some one-on-one work. So if you guys want to unmic yourself and just say hi or anything like that, I encourage you to do so right now.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
It was nice that the cat joined us as well. I didn't notice. Very cute.
Hi, everybody. Hi,
Hello.
Chris. Hi, Astrid, Gabriel, everybody. Marina, you look good. Cozy.
Yeah.
Hello.
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 Hi, Pia.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
I want to challenge Astrid to unmute.
What? So I guess I'll just ask you guys what you guys thought of the whole chakra presentation, and is there anything you'd like to comment or ask a question about on a certain chakra?
I stepped in lately. I was searching and searching for the right link, so I missed the first three.
Oh,
Are you having a recording from it?
Absolutely. This is being
Okay.
being recorded right now, so you're gonna get
Oh,
to
good.
re-see all of
Wonderful.
that. So, how was your experience with going into all the different chakras? Were you able to feel into what you need to work on? Were you able to like say like, all right, this is what I'm gonna be doing and making a change in my life? I just want to see or feel any feedback from you guys before we start working one-on-one.
Yeah, I thought when you was talking about the crown chakra, it was like, wow, yeah, I can totally relate to that, about the oneness and everything. And then partly on when you was talking about the heart space, I've had moments in the past, quite recently, where I can it's almost like I want to contact all of my friends and all my family, and I just want to tell everybody how much they mean to me. The last sort of couple of weeks here and there, I get that happen. With the throat chakra, it kind of made me think, yeah, that's totally me, where I've got issues there, where I don't speak up enough. I've got way too many things I love to speak about, but I just don't. And then with all the other chakras, it was like, yeah, I'm not anywhere near that level. Yeah, I've got a hell of a lot to work on, kind of thing. A
First
lot
of
to
all,
work on.
thank you for being so vulnerable, and just to like come in here and say like this was to help you tune into the energies that are within you, and finding acceptance for where you are now, and knowing that you have chosen to come into this program to work on those things together, and that you are saying yes to working on all of those chakra levels by coming into the program. So just taking a moment to acknowledge your desire to help heal this stuff, and the fact that you're taking the first step already, and that's phenomenal, because most people aren't taking the first step, and you need to really acknowledge that you have the desire to do this, and that is coming from a place of self-love. So I just wanted to say that, and thank you so much for speaking, Chris.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay, so if nobody else, go for it.
I want to. Oh, it's on. Okay, it's on. Yeah, I really could, when you described this was not only the information, but really the feeling moved through all the chakras when you described it, and could really feel them. And I think for me the most intense was the heart chakra, and there was a coldness and like a grasp on this, and this probably needs at the moment the most work, I feel, because it was really like something like pressing this tight and some feeling of coldness.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's awesome that you were able to like feel into your experience so consciously. Thank you for speaking up and sharing that with us. So I feel like I'm gonna invite you guys to work one-on-one at this point with me in front of the group. And also I just wanted to say that and as what you were saying, Gabriel, actually this whole conference that I based this off of is I based it off of my chakra healing activations that I did with people one-on-one. So if you guys want to opt into learning about that during this program or learning how to do that for yourself or for other people, I would love to hear your feedback on that. Either you can just say it out loud or let me know privately later in any way that you want to communicate. If you guys would want to learn that process and how to actually activate someone else's chakras in that way and activate your own chakras in that way.
Heaven, yes.
Yay! Yay!
Yes, I would like that too.
Awesome. Thank you for telling me that, everyone. I'd love to incorporate that into the program material. Okay, so I'm gonna ask everybody to mute themselves again if you're ready to do so, and then we're gonna invite someone one-on-one to work. I guess if you want to be the first one to work, just don't mute yourself. So I mean, I'm literally, this is our second group call, and I think everybody's had a good chance to say that they want to work with me. So I'm just going to invite anybody who wants to start. So just speak up if you will, if you want to.
Yeah, I'm happy to, most definitely.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome, Chris. Okay. So which chakra would you feel like we could focus on or we could go into? I basically want everybody to choose a specific chakra to be the example of what it would look like to help heal that. So if you can choose one that you want, and you'll be able to like see how to heal the other ones through everybody else that comes on, basically.
Yeah, sure. I think the one that probably stood out was the root chakra, because I kind of, I don't really feel connected to my higher self and that at all, really. I feel connected to the universe, I think, and I feel connected to a lot of people, but I don't really feel connected to myself or to my higher self. When you was talking earlier about the feeling safe, I suppose I feel safe quite a bit, but I might also be in denial as well. I think that's something I've picked up a lot the last few days, where I think one thing or feel one thing, but I don't. I sometimes will go the other way shortly after, kind of thing. So. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, to understand that the chakras are a part of us. So whether you have a block there or not, you're not 100% disconnected from your root chakra. It would be impossible, right? So even if there's a block there, yeah, maybe you have a gift for having a pragmatic mind, or maybe you have a gift for intelligence and deep thinking, or maybe you have a gift for feeling safe and not feeling super anxious, but you could still have a huge block in your root chakra. So you might have these gifts, and you don't have to say that I'm in denial if you feel like, yes, I feel safe most of the time. And the most major thing to understand that I want to like reel in is, even if you feel disconnected from your higher self some of the time, it would be impossible to be on earth and to feel disconnected from your higher self like all of the time. It just wouldn't be possible, and your higher self is definitely coming in and saying like, hey, like, don't forget me, like you're still connected to me most of the time. But I do honor that sometimes it feels like you come in and out of connection, and I felt that way before. I felt that way, and I felt really scared because of it. And the biggest thing is not even a disconnection with your higher self. The biggest thing is a disconnection with the earth. with your place on this earth, with your place within the earth. And that's what actually leads to a disconnection with the higher self at points, is this disconnection with the earth. And it's also usually coming from a place of, and I can feel that you're a deep soul, and by deep soul I mean I can feel that you have an awareness that not many people on earth do, that you have this gift and awareness and this connection to crown chakra, basically, and just like you're coming in from these high levels of frequencies. So I think that it's totally understandable. Okay, sorry, I'm not sure if it's on your end, Chris, or if there's someone else who has their thing unmuted, but I'm feeling like a back sound. Okay, that's weird. It might be coming from your end, Chris. It doesn't matter if it is. I was just checking to make sure everybody was on mute.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, cool.
It's not. I know I did connect through my mobile phone, because I was trying to connect to my laptop at the last minute. So, would that affect anything, do you think?
You know what? I don't think it's a problem. I can hear you fine, and I feel like people can tune that out. So it was just sure. I wanted to make sure that no one else was unmuted or anything like that. So I want to really help you to connect into basically boundaries. When you say, the first thing that I want to do is connect into boundaries with you for the root chakra, because I feel like that's something that is really affecting your connection with the earth, is feeling like I have a place on this earth. I can tell people when it's okay or not okay to come into my space and my area. I can speak up for so they always connect in with the upper chakra levels. So what are your boundaries? Because if you want to connect with your root chakra, you have to get really real on your boundaries. You don't have to think of them all today, but I want you to just think of a couple that you maybe need to hold on to more.
Yeah, sure.
Would you be able to share some of those with us maybe today?
I know the first thing that sprang to mind when you said boundaries, and it popped up a little bit earlier on as well. I almost have this thing where I've always had issues with certain, with certain days or birthdays or Christmas and celebrations, because I seem to be so up and down. I'm almost like a different personalities or mood changes and things. So it's almost like if I'm going to someone's birthday party and it's in a month's time, it's almost like I sort of worry of like what mode I'm going to be in or what mood I'm going to be in.
Oh yeah.
Some days I can be like really open and feel really comfortable with myself, and then another day it will be just the opposite, where I'm almost like I shut off. So yeah, I definitely have trouble with like being the same Chris all the time. Almost like, yeah, if I'm not happy with myself, I'm not going to be able to share myself with anybody. I used to get that a lot in the past with Christmases and things like that. I used to beat myself up afterwards because I'd see it as being selfish, but on another hand, I'd see it that it's like, nah, I was being kind to myself. I didn't want to speak to people, so I didn't. So I was looking after myself.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I'll say, no, you wasn't being kind to yourself and standing up to what you wanted, Chris. You were just being selfish and putting yourself before everybody else and probably hiding.
I don't think that's selfish. I really just want to stop you there, and I don't think that's being selfish. I think that you need to give because when you say that you're being selfish, it's kind of like the bully coming up within you and saying like, it's not okay that you are this way, but I want to instead give you understanding and say that I understand what it's like to be scared to open up to people. I understand what it's like to have poor boundaries. I understand what it's like to not be able to hold on to your authentic self and to have to sacrifice your authentic self to be around other people because you're not comfortable with who that authentic self is. So I understand you, and I think that it is very understandable for you to act like that, and that you would struggle with that, because many people on earth do. Many people do. So you're not alone in that, and I don't think that it's like you're doing this wrong. I think it's like, I understand why you would be doing that. I understand why you would be feeling that way.
Yeah. Sure.
I just wanted to come in and say that.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of the time, sometimes I have a lot of time for a lot of people, but I also have very little time for a lot of people as well. And that's more sort of like immediate family, where we don't really connect, we don't really get into conversation as such. We can kind of catch up within a minute, and then we've got nothing to say to each other. And it's like, I kind of get that a lot with people. So it's like I'll either really connect with someone or really won't, kind of thing. But
so let's talk about what's happening there. So why would you have nothing else to say to them? The one reason is that everybody's trying to guard their authentic self. Everybody thinks that the other person is not going to accept their authentic self, so they lose words. They lose what's okay to talk about, because there's too many rules in their head about, like, should I talk about this, or can I express this to them? And if you can't share who you are, the communication breaks down.
Yeah. I kind of feel if someone just like, it's almost like if someone wants to talk about the weather, and say I was with a work colleague, if they just want to talk about other work colleagues and how the work's going and all that, I'll switch off really quick. Same with if someone wants to talk about football or sports or things like that, I'll just switch off. I'm not. But then I suppose my thing is, talking about the whole universe or whatever. So it's.
So let's help you get deeper in touch with your authentic truth, and with your boundaries. So I want you to literally think about it. What are literally just 3 boundaries that I don't hold on to every day that I really would want to? Maybe the boundary could be standing up for myself when someone like puts me down or tries to make fun of me. What boundary are you not holding on to, or what boundary are you not speaking up for?
I don't know really. I guess one thing that sort of I don't know if this is exactly what we're talking of, but it's kind of like I suppose my main issue is my job at the moment, where I just have an issue of like, I don't understand what my problem is, of why wouldn't I just go out and find or get a job that I enjoy. So that sort of really confuses me. It's like, one minute I think I'm this fantastic person who's capable of this and I'm quite empowered, but then I seem to shrink soon as it comes to my career. I'm sort of like sort of unhappy with myself, I suppose. And it's almost like I've built this up to that. It's almost like that's becoming the problem for everything now. Almost.
So your career is your kryptonite, basically. It's the one thing that you're having a hard time committing to, is to in terms of self-love and in terms of taking care of yourself, is to actually say, like, I'm not happy in this career, and be able to leave that. And I totally understand how hard that is, and it's not easy. It's one of the most difficult things to ever do, is to quit your job, because it's this feeling of like, am I going to be secure? Am I going to have money to take care of myself? Where am I going to find that next job? And you're so overwhelmed by your current job that it is draining your energy and ability to think of, where is this new job going to come from, or what is this, self-employment, where is the self-employment going to start? So it's draining your time and your power to actually think about, how can I break free of this? So the major thing that I want you to focus on when it comes to helping yourself break free of this pattern, so this is what we're going to work on today, is how to take action towards breaking free of your career, but knowing that you're going to have to do this at your own pace, because it is scary, and it's not something that you can just be like, I'm going to quit my job tomorrow, like no care in the world. Like it is something that really has to be thought about. So I want to talk about how to help gear your energies to feed them in the direction of finding a different career, or finding something that you can be more happy with. And I totally acknowledge what you're going through, and how difficult it is. You know, I've had so many jobs myself where I'm like, oh, like, why am I doing this? Like, this is not something that I feel like. I used to work at in an auto body garage, and I would literally sit there working on my chakras in the waiting room when I was like waiting for people to come in at the reception. That was my first step towards taking power over my life, is like, I'm gonna sit there and like meditate and like activate my chakras and like connect with my guides and angels in between like someone coming in for like a car that they're dropping off. That was my little empowerment, because usually in jobs you feel like, oh, I have to be like this statue doll and waiting for the next customer and like always prepared and always at the ready. And it's like they're not even just taking your time, they're literally taking your life source. It's like my entire life is committed to this job when I'm here. Like I can't take a moment to think, I can't take a moment to like, you know, there's different intensities to how much people feel cut off from themselves when they're at work, but that's ultimately what work does, is that it takes your energy, and it takes your current of energy, and it's completely veered in the opposite direction of where you want to go. So like, if you can go back to the idea of fragmentation, and you can feel into all these different personalities that are going on within you, you might have one part of you that is like, yeah, I love my job, like it's, you know, it makes me feel like I've reached my potential. And then you have 10 other fragments that are basically like, I hate this place, like I don't know why I'm here, I don't know why my energy is here. You have different aspects of yourself that either may be fighting your job, or maybe actually feeding into your desire to stay there. So maybe there's an aspect of you that is like, I am going to choose security and safety above all else, and I will never ever leave. And this is almost the fragment I'm feeling coming up that is keeping you in your job. It's this aspect is like, there is no way you guys are going to talk me into leaving this job right now, because I want safety, I want security, and this is the safest and most secure thing that I can think of right now, is to stay in this career.
That sounds it sounds very accurate. And I think it affects other parts of my life as well. It's almost like with the whole it sort of destroys my confidence. It's like I'm, whatever the opposite of being proud of yourself is, I'm often sort of feel the opposite to that kind of thing. So when I'm meeting new people, it's like it's almost like I've been trying to find my way for so long. I'm searching and looking, but recently it just seems like I've just hit a wall kind of thing. I've noticed like a pattern where it seemed really odd that it's like, instead of improving as time went on, it's like I can learn and learn and learn more, but somehow I'm shrinking my reality. I don't do a lot of things that I used to enjoy. I don't do like anywhere near. I used to go out and do activism and things like that. I'd go out and socialise a lot more. I'd go out and do a lot more activity, but it's almost like it's just getting less and less kind of thing.
Because your job is draining your energy. It is literally draining your energy. So I want to talk about how to break free of this. And the first thing that we're going to have to look at, so I want to play a little exercise with you right now, okay? I am going to play the role of the fragment of you that does not want to leave his job no matter what. And you are going to try to convince me to quit my job. You're going to be the fragments of you that want to quit your job. So I want you to try to convince me to leave my job. What would it be like to convince me to leave my job? I'm going to show you how this really goes down when you're talking about your subconscious mind.
Sure. Yeah, I'd say, Chris, you've got plenty of talent. You've got great people skills. You're approachable. You're friendly. you've got different skills that you can use. So there's plenty of jobs out there you could do. You could go self-employed.
That's not important. That's not important to me. I don't need talent. I don't need anything else. I just need this job. I just need this job. I don't need that. I don't need any of that. I just need this job, and I just need to hold on to this job, and you can't take it away from me, okay? You can't.
Yeah, you're being really lame and boring to do a job just for the sake of the fact that it's just a job. That's no
well, you're
fun.
being completely scary and active, and like you're trying to take these actions that I'm not ready for, and I just can't handle it. So you need to chill out, okay?
Where's your sense of adventure? Have you no adventure?
Oh, I have none. I don't want adventure. Adventure is scary. How can I have adventure?
Yeah.
Adventure is scary. I'm not ready for adventure. I just want this job. Like, you need to listen to me right now. You need to just stay inside this job because I need it. I need it to feel safe. I'm holding on to it. I'm attached to it. I need it to feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of feel like you're not going to learn while you're playing safe. You're not going to learn. You're going to sort of stay in that.
So let's switch chairs for a moment. I want you to embody the aspect of yourself that doesn't want to leave your job. I want you to embody that aspect and that perspective. So now you're the one who's like, I don't want to leave my job.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I want you to feel into the level of resistance that aspect of you experienced when you started telling him, like, oh, you're so boring, you have so much talent, you need to just leave, you need to just trust yourself, you need to just do it. How can you feel that level of resistance that comes up when you're feeling into that? Like, just quit your job tomorrow. Like, what's the problem with quitting your job tomorrow? Can you feel the level of resistance that comes up there that is like, whoa, that's not happening?
Yeah. It's almost like, I've convinced myself that I'm going to become, it's work or homeless and struggling out in the cold kind of thing.
And so this is why you're never going to do it as long as this aspect is taking the front seat. And here's the thing. This aspect of you is always going to be taking the front seat until you integrate this aspect, until you really feel into the resistance of this aspect. So this is what we want to do here today. And again, this is nothing that is ever going to be like, you have to get rid of this aspect today. But if we can work with him, if we can talk to him, if we can allow you to get behind that resistance, he is going to be not stopping you as hardcore from feeding into the energy of quitting your job or feeding into the energy of empowering yourself and taking the steps to get a different job. Taking, the energy to figure out what could you do for self-employment. So we want to get behind his resistance today. That is, if I can work on one thing with you one-on-one right now, is I want to work with how can we work with his resistance. We're not going to tell him his resistance has to disappear. We're not going to tell him that this resistance is bad and it needs to fuck off. That is horrible. That is horrible to hear about yourself. This is a piece of you. We are only going to tell him that we want to be present for his resistance, that we understand his resistance, that we understand that he feels this way, and that we would never want to push him towards feeling any differently unless he's ready.
Yeah.
So this is why you haven't got anywhere, because when you're having these conversations with yourself, he's in the front chair and he's saying this is not happening. And so every time you think of like all the things that you could do with your life or all the things that you could do for yourself that is not this career, he comes up and he's like, I'm not ready for that. I'm sorry. This is not happening. Like this is not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So I want you to literally just be present with that resistance right now. Let's start there. If you want to close your eyes, or if you feel more comfortable with your eyes open and like looking, you can be the judge of that. I want you to just really feel into the resistance that he is holding on to. In the resistance that this aspect of you, so this is you, this is Chris, you are holding on to resistance of, I'm not going to be safe if I quit my job. You know, what if I fail? This is not secure. This is not the safest move. You know, and you have to honor the fact that this aspect of you, he has a huge attachment to his job. This is the aspect of you that it is attached to who you are within your job. And it's not that who you are has anything to do with your job, but you've attached your life to this job right now. This is a part of what your life has been like, is being in this job and career. And so this is the attachment. So I want you to start by just feeling the attachment that you do have to the job and feeling the resistance that you have to leaving it. I want you to literally just be present with that. If you can feel it in your body, where would its location be? Where would its location be in your body?
Somewhere around my chest, I think. Around my chest.
Okay.
Around my body. But
What
yeah,
does it feel like? What does that resistance feel like in your chest? If it had a physical feeling, what would it feel like?
yeah, I don't know. I'm just tending to think of like I'm starting to think of the reasons why I sort of stay there, I suppose. Yeah, like
So don't start relating it to the mental mind. I want you to literally just feel that resistance. You don't need to think of all the reasons you have resistance. I just want you to feel the resistance and be present with it right now. So what does it physically feel like? Does it feel like a tightening in your chest? Does it feel like a burning? Does it feel like a weight is dragging you down? What does it physically feel like to be in your chest like that?
Do you mean my resistance of me leaving my job? Is that right?
The resistance that you have towards leaving your job, yes.
Yeah.
And also, what does the attachment feel like? Does it feel like a gripping? Does it feel like you need to hold on to something? If this is an uncomfortable part of the process for you, we're gonna skip it because it could be good for some people and confusing to others. So
Yeah, I'm a little unsure. The main thing, I suppose, is almost that it feels like this, like a closing in feel. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel at the moment.
So that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. So a closing in feeling. I want you to literally be present with that feeling right now in this moment. I want you to say, I'm here for you. I see you. I acknowledge you. I acknowledge that this is scary for you. I acknowledge that you have an attachment to this job. I acknowledge that the idea of you leaving is fucking scary.
Yeah. Sure.
So just feeling into that acknowledgement, feeling into that attachment. Is there anything that you want to say to this attachment? And this should really be veered in the direction of not telling this attachment to go away or not like being the bully and being like, you just need to leave right now. But what can you say to this resistance and this attachment to actually validate it and acknowledge it and say, I understand you? What does it need to hear from you right now?
Yeah, I can understand it. I suppose I'd say to it, I can understand where you're coming from. It makes perfect sense because that's like years of people telling me that's what I need. It's almost like influence. Whenever I talk about it, the only things anyone will ever say is, "Well, you've got to work, haven't you? Well, don't be lazy. Well, you got to do something." So I suppose I'd sort of say, yeah, I feel for you. And I understand why you feel like you do, but you need to follow your own heart and your own ideas, and stop putting too much, stop listening to other people too much. Where people will always say, "Oh, no, you got to do something, Chris." I suppose so whenever I share it with other people, the only the only feedback I get is all exactly what I don't want to hear, kind of thing. If that makes any sense.
So I wanna tune you into a part of the resistance here. And I'm basically triggering some core beliefs that I feel like are going on. So I want you to just sort of be present with them as they come up in your body and acknowledging them and just validating them. So I feel like one of these core beliefs that is holding you onto the resistance and to the attachment is this idea that you need to work hard for money, that the reason you're in this job is because, you know, you're working hard for it and that's why the money is coming in. I'm not sure if this is one for you specifically, but I feel like it could be a part of it. Do you resonate with that at all? That like that's a part of it is like.
Yeah, totally. That's like I've had that drummed into me since I was a young child. Yeah.
Yeah, so I picked up on that when you were saying that it's the idea of like I'm gonna be lazy. So it's almost like maybe you feel like the fact that the things you would rather be doing for your career feel like, oh, that's too easy. Like, why would I make money off of that? Because that's something I like doing, so it's too easy, and that makes me lazy for wanting to do that, right?
Yeah.
So this is, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's almost like I need to have a bit more respect for myself. I'm kind of like I've done like manual work my whole life, and it's like I know I'm better than that. I should do something else. It's like I feel like, you know, my knees are tired, my back's tired, I'm worn out. You know, I know I can't go on doing it forever. It's almost like if I don't stop soon, you know, I'm just gonna be aged. I'm gonna be crippled almost. You know, I'm getting to the point where I struggle walking sometimes. You know, I struggle. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose I'm sort of saying I've got to stop the manual thing. I've got the lifting, the carrying, the cleaning, the building. I just can't keep going on doing that. I need a job where I can just actually physically take it a little more steady kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to the core belief within you right now that basically feels like he needs to work hard for money and he needs to keep on sacrificing his body because he knows that this is like a steady income and that, you know, this is what you do. You work hard for money, and it's been grounded in you probably by your parents and by society itself. So I want to talk to this aspect of you for a second, this core belief that you're holding on to for a second. So if you can just be sort of present with what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
You're totally freaking worthy of doing something you love for money. It doesn't make you lazy. There are so many people that are doing things that they love in this world. Like, if a doctor loves healing people, you don't say that they're lazy because he loves that. Maybe it doesn't feel like hard work for him, or maybe sometimes it does. If you know, what are some careers that you admire? What are some careers that you admire? Let's start there.
Presenting, that kind of thing. Yeah, like chat shows, that kind of thing. I really admire people who study nature, that kind of thing.
So these people are doing what they love. They are feeling into their talent and their purpose on this earth. And there is nothing lazy about that. There cannot ever be anything lazy or wrong about you doing what you love, because when you do what you love and when you meet your purpose and when you take care of yourself, you are expanding yourself and you're giving that expansion to the entire universe. So what are some things that you can help me say to this aspect of you to disprove the idea that he has to do physical labor and that, you know, he has to work hard for money? What are some things that we can say for him to feel like money is easier? I'm gonna start there quickly, and I'll let you jump in when you feel ready. So another thing is money is energy. Money is the energy that we breathe. Money is, it's just a different level of energy. It's energy exchange. It's an exchange of energy. So like that money, that abundance can come to you from the earth through so many different ways. And it's understanding that this money isn't because like, oh, okay, we check off Chris for killing himself at work today, he gets to have money today. It's because you are alive that you tune into this abundance. And just to help you stop associating that the money is coming from your job, but more so the money is coming from the universe, because you're saying like, okay, I deserve this amount of abundance, I'm going to take this amount of abundance into my life. So money is not something that you get through your career. Even your career is a bridge to how the money is coming towards you, but you're calling in that amount of money from your place on earth, from your connection to the universe, from your connection to the earth. You are calling in the money, and it's coming to you through the career. So you're calling in the money in the first place, you're calling in the abundance in the first place. And abundance and money, it's supposed to be something that flows freely to you. It's supposed to be something that everybody has access to. So I want you to say some things to empower yourself into why you don't have to call yourself lazy for doing what you love, and why you deserve to do what you love, and that why you don't have to work hard to earn money. I want to hear some stuff that you feel like can empower you in that direction.
I'm not sure I fully understand, if I'm honest.
That's okay. Yeah, I understand. So anything to disprove in your mind the idea that you need to work hard for money? What would you say to disprove that idea? What would you say to prove it false?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because I just think everything comes from working hard, which I know isn't true, but yeah,
okay.
It's almost like it's drummed into me. But
so we're gonna have to go deeper into this work with you, definitely. I feel like we've knocked it on the door today, and that we're going to go deeper into it throughout the course, because this is obviously not something that is easy for you to change, and we don't want to approach you with this energy of like, you just need to change, Chris. Like, you're going to change at your own pace. We're going to work with you more on this, and I think that the fact that you're open to this and working on this and acknowledging this is so powerful, and that is showing us how capable you are of doing this, and that we're not giving up on you. We're going to keep on helping to support you towards your goals, your dreams, and this energy of breaking free of this fear and being able to talk down this fragment that is like, no, not doing it.
Yeah, sure. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So I feel like I'm going to let you like integrate that for now, and that we're going to go the next step next time, basically.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. It feels better just to sort of share it. I think you and all the others probably get the gist of sort of where I'm at and where I'm coming from. So yeah, it feels good just to sort of share it with somebody.
Would you like to open the mics up for anybody who has something to say to you about what happened, or do you feel like you just want to move on to the next person? Would you feel open to that, basically?
Nah, I think I'll be happy to sort of move on.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on then.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on, Chris. And we're gonna move on to the next exercise.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. So is there anyone else who wants to step up to the plate at this point? If you want to just unmute yourself, say hi. I'm open to anybody.
Hi.
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 How are you doing, sweetie? Okay, cool. I'm just finding your video. I just found you. Hi, Gia.
I'm waiting to look for your screen. Yeah, there you are. Yes. Yeah, now I don't know so much what to say. Now I'm in.
That's okay. That's okay. So, you don't even have to say anything specific. This time that you have one-on-one with me will be anything that you want to make it. So, how are you feeling from everything that you've heard so far? I know that you joined a bit late, and that can be frustrating. But from what you have heard from the conference call, what do you feel? What are you feeling?
I felt good with I started when the solar plexus was in, when you were talking about the solar plexus, and then you went to the heart. And I know that when I drink a green smoothie, I always feel as if the love of Mother Earth comes straight to my heart and my body. And then you say about the color green, that feeds the heart. So that made a lot of sense. But then
That's
not
beautiful,
every day
yeah.
I drink my smoothies. That is the point. I should do it every day 2 times, and that makes me keeps me feeling open and spacious.
Oh yeah, and it's super grounding. It's super grounding and it's super detoxing. And live enzymes pumps your entire system up with earth energy.
Yeah, and then I should, well, like that I do like 3 times a week and 4 times a week, or difference. I don't do it. I start with a coffee, I start with a piece of bread, and so on. But I will figure that out myself.
Yeah, and also just taking it easy on yourself and saying, "Hey, it's amazing that I drink my green smoothies in the first place, and I'd like to incorporate it more into my life, but I don't need to be mad at myself if, that happens slowly. It's going to happen at your own pace, and just the desire for it is very self-loving and it's beautiful in itself, right?"
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yes, be kind to myself. Yes. Well, you were talking to Chris about this belief about that there is a bridge and you just have to be open. The money comes to you.
Yeah.
A few months ago, I've been investing some money, and I was so truly feeling this is a connection to invite, and it was good. I earned a lot of money with it, but then it seems to be a scam thing.
Oh no.
And I cannot take anything out. So I invested, and they have all kind of rules and changing websites, and I'm telling myself, it's just money. I'm just stronger than, and I believe that, it's just money. I'm so good, feeling good about who I am and my place in the universe. But where can I?
I'm so sorry, sweetie. I'm so sorry that there's all these ridiculous people out there that are doing this to hurt people and to steal from people, and it is so wrong. And I am so sorry that you were taken advantage of in that way, because that is really, really horrible. And I know that you are brave and that you are capable and that you're trying to see beyond this and you're trying to get yourself through this, and I totally honor that. But I also honor that this is really a smack in the face, that there's people out there that would do this to you and that know that this is going to cause you harm and cause you difficulty. So I'm so sorry that people have taken advantage of you in that way, and that there is even this system out there that lured you in like a spider. So I'm really sorry that that happened to you.
That's kind to hear. Thank you for feeling with me. Yes, at times, yeah, but still I feel I'm very strong. Anyway, I'm just, yeah.
Absolutely.
These people, it's their people's laws, it's not my laws, in fact. But of course, I have to, instead of working less, now working more. But I was told I should find a hacker to get it off again, but I will just leave it, and still see what I can do. And then
and maybe just releasing that intention to the universe and saying, hey universe, if there is any way for me to get my money back, please show me the way. But if there's no way, I release resistance for needing this money, and I release it to the universe. And in that, more money could come to you in a different way to make up for it. And, you know, I know how hard it is, but it is so awesome that you're able to tell your mind and to say, like, look, I need to let this go. This happened. I can't get, you know, this is the reality of the situation. I'm acknowledging that it happened. And as sucky as it is, the releasing of resistance to the fact that this happened to you is the best way to, you know, get abundance from somewhere else, or maybe even get your money back. Who knows? So
Yeah.
you're really handling this very beautifully, I guess I just have to say.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so that will be the way then, to, because I was exercising to be open to to have to receive, and then
Yes. Focus on receiving that
Yeah.
abundance again. And
Yeah.
telling yourself that, okay, this happened to me, this is a lesson, acknowledging that it sucks, and then saying, I'm going to take this lesson to manifest more money and to manifest it in
Right.
different healthy ways.
Right.
And just really trying to understand why you manifested this situation. Not that I'm saying in any way that this is something that you did or created, but just acknowledging your power in the situation and trying to see why this happened in your life, and try to see the positive intention behind bringing this type of situation into your life, and, you know, just understanding, why is this happening to me? You know, by moving through it and working with it and understanding it and not just shutting down or pushing it away, you'll be able to work with this situation and call in abundance in other ways, and open up to abundance again from the universe.
Okay. I'll take it in. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming on, Agaya, and I'd love to work with you deeper one-on-one another time. So thank you for coming on, and I'll just let you integrate that and feel into that for now. Do you have any other questions for watching the conference, or just on any of the chakras before you go?
I feel very much present on the top chakras and less on the low chakras.
Okay. So that's where you're at right now, as you feel like you're kind of like more like secure in your like physical chakras, but you're opening up to the ethereal chakras, right? So like the heart space, the throat chakra, the third eye. Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would I will look for some exercises to ground more, I think,
So sweetie, at the beginning of this conference call, we did a journey into the earth that is going to help you ground. So in the recording, there's an exercise on grounding, and we also talk a lot about grounding. So
probably that's what I mean then to start. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Bye.
Bye. So thank you so much, Agaya, and just opening up for the next person to come on. Whoever else wants to come on next, just unmute your mic and say hi. Be brave. Be the first one to step up to the plate. Marina's going for it. There we go. Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I was a little bit kind of mad this morning because my connection wasn't so good during the meditation.
Oh no.
But I heard most of it, just not like the end of it, and
that's what recordings are for, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching this again to review and rewrite and everything. And so thank you for doing that.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. So how did you feel when watching the chakras? Is there anything that you want to bring up for yourself that you were processing through that experience?
Yeah, I guess like what hit home for me the most was kind of like what Agaya said, that my lower chakras, I think, are still needing tending to, and my higher chakras seem to like be really stable, and like I can count on them, and that's like kind of what I've always like gone to
typical light worker scenario right here.
Yeah, like I guess I've depended like unconsciously a lot on my higher chakras, and my lower chakras I ignored a lot of my life. And so now in my last 7-8 years, I've been really, you know, integrating my bottom chakras, and just while you were going through them, I definitely resonated with this root chakra and the solar chakra and the sacral chakra. Those three I think are just gonna help balance me out, I think, maybe more.
Yes.
And I guess I brought up, I kind of been thinking for a while to get rid of my last name from my dad's side. I just felt like it was actually holding me back. Like I didn't feel like it was really true essence of like who I am and my sovereignty from my family, because I never really felt like super close to my dad's family or my mom's family, and neither did they. But even more so now that we've become adults, and now this whole thing with my grandfather has come out with my cousin and my dad, they just totally have invalidated me. And I just feel like I don't even want to participate in anything that they have in their lives, and they don't really care about anything happening in my life, really. So it's just all a bunch of fake BS. And I feel like it's taking up space and room in my heart. And I feel like if I like disconnect with them on a lot of different levels, like writing a letter or telling my dad how I really feel, or and getting rid of my last name and stuff like that, is like things that I could do to make more room for people who really do value me and who do want me in their life and feel me as family.
Hell yeah. So I want to ask you a question here. Do you feel like so the people involved, in terms of the people involved, do you feel like they have broken their connection with you? Do you feel like they don't understand me? They don't want to understand me? They don't care about me? They don't want to connect with me? They don't want to learn about me? Do you feel like it's literally like they're just like, I don't care. I don't want to care?
I think most of them don't care. I think my grandmother does care. I think she just only has a limited way of extent, you know,
showing it.
Yeah, I could just see all of her traumas, you know, so much. So it's like, I understand that she can't even deal with anyone else's, like, you know, and I don't want to even bring that upon her. And I think my dad really cares too, but he has no idea either. He has just no idea how. And I honestly don't even have the energy to deal with them, because I am dealing with my own life, you know, and I have a lot around me to fulfill myself with, you know. But I still feel like a pull, like a hook from that family of like, you know, holding space, like, oh, maybe one day like it'll all come together, or we'll, you know, but it's just like, why wait, you know? It's just like wasted time, and it's just wasted space. Like
I feel like channeling in something from just your higher self and my higher self here in terms of what you're saying. First, from my higher self, I just want to say that, like, you know, I've learned on my own journey that there's a huge difference between someone who doesn't want to connect with you, who, you know, towards someone who said, I want nothing to do with you, and I don't care about you, I don't care about what you're doing with your life, I don't care about what's going on with your life. That is someone that you don't want to give your time to. You might need to heal from, you know, any pain that they've caused you. That's something to do with self-love, but you don't want to put the energy into healing the connection with them, because they're the ones who have missed out by cutting you off. Now, the people that do care about you on some level and that you feel are looking for a deeper connection with you but don't know how, even though there's this aspect of you that is basically like, no, I'm not connecting with them, I have too much going on in my own life, I need to take care of myself, I just want to connect you in with another fragment I feel within you. This fragment within you, I feel like she does want a connection with them. She just doesn't know how to do it as much as they don't, and she just is tired of the bullshit, and she's tired of hurting, and she's tired of being hurt, and so that's why she's not doing it. But I feel like you do truly want that connection on some level. What do you feel about what I've just said, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would be lying if I say I didn't want a connection with my dad, that I really thought my dad would be a different man when I grew up, and he just ended up being like, I don't know, basically what I kind of feared, like, I guess. Just someone who's just totally negligent and has no idea how to be in touch with his emotions, and is probably an alcoholic, and just works like every day and just distracts himself from everything. So, but I mean, yeah, I mean, he's my dad, like.
Exactly. So here's the message really coming in from your higher self. She wants you to acknowledge you're right for this to be difficult and for you to be scared to put in the effort. And she also wants to say that, like, this person is important to you. So just tiptoe in the direction of maybe healing things, tiptoe in the direction of maybe opening up about some of the ways that he's hurt you. You can do that within yourself. You don't have to do it directly to him. But I feel like your higher self is asking you to make some sort of effort to make it feel better for you, at least, and to start reaching out to him on some level. And you never have to push yourself or force yourself. It's just the permission coming in that's saying, like, wherever you are with this is okay. There's lots of healing to be had here, but just to acknowledge the part of yourself that does want that connection, but is too damn hurt to open up and be vulnerable to it immediately. You're too hurt, and that's the reason why you're holding back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, like.
There's too much pain. And here's the real thing. This is really why you've been avoiding your family, even the members that do want to connect with you. The pain that they have caused you needs to be expressed. And the fact that they're telling you don't express that, like, I feel like they're giving you the message that if you come to me with anything of why you don't like me, I'm just going to shut you out. But if you come to me as like the happy Marina who just wants to connect with me, like, I'll accept that. So it's like they're forcing you to be inauthentic with them when you're around them. And this is why you're really resisting this type of connection. This is why you're really, like, there's really an aspect of you who is actually like, fuck this, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go there, because they're forcing me to be inauthentic with myself, and that doesn't feel good. And so this is the part of you that is resisting it altogether, because she would rather have no one than would have people that don't accept the full spectrum of who she is, right?
Yeah, I think that's totally where I'm at this point in my life, for sure.
So, honoring her and seeing where she's coming from, and just like saying, like, okay, I get it. I get why this is so hard for you, because if you can honor her, if you can say that, I honor the aspect of me that does want connection with them on some level, but I also honor the aspect of me that doesn't want to make the effort to sacrifice my authentic self. If you can acknowledge both these aspects, if you can feel into them, if you can try to understand them, this is the first step towards healing this situation, is to acknowledge both pieces of yourself, or the multiple pieces within yourself that are involved in this relationship with your dad and involved in this relationship with the other people that you spoke of today.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of heart-spaced healing that needs to happen here, and I totally honor the fact that you've come up to talk about this, because I feel like a lot of people struggle with this in their own way. Because let's face it, and this is a blog that I made the other day that I've been really coming to recently, this energy, is the fact that most relationships in our family, and most relationships even within like romantic partners and like friendships and stuff, that there is almost always a narcissistic part to the relationship or a codependent part to the relationship. This is a part of survival on Earth today, is the fact that and not even just survival, it's a part of where the collective consciousness is at, is they're so hurt and they're so like unable to like deal with life that they become a narcissist, or they're so powerless that they become a narcissist, or the codependent needs to feed on other people to survive. And it's not about shaming these people or being like, oh, like I have this like narcissist in my life. And if you feel that you need to do that for healing purposes at any point, I totally understand that. But just to say that it's really about understanding, like, holy shit, it's hard to heal human relationships. It's hard to heal the relationships in our lives. This is not an easy task. And here's the thing, is that this is the number one reason we're here on earth, is to experience relationships and experience ourselves through relationships. So there's never going to be an easy fix. This is big, and I couldn't even begin to work on this here with you today because it's too big. It literally is too big. Like, we've hit like the note, but to go beyond this is like, we're going to be doing this the entire program, right? Is how to get beyond this. So is there anything, these aspects, these fragments of yourself that we brought up today, the fragment of you that is basically like, I'm too freaking hurt to get into this relationship and I don't want to sacrifice my authentic self, so hell no, I'm not going anywhere near this, and the fragment of you that really does want a daddy who loves her and is open to connecting with her, and these fragments that we've talked about here today, I want you to just start by feeling into them, because I feel like this is the most important thing that we can do right here, right now, the fact that you brought them up. So can you take a moment, if you're open, to just feel into your body, feel into where these fragments are? Do they have a physical location? Does this energy have a physical location?
Like, I feel like super warm and like I just want to like, you know, like just explode.
Okay, so it's like hot. It's like
Yeah,
hot energy.
Yeah.
So from this hot energy, I almost feel like there's like a hell lot of like repressed anger there. And I know that you said that from the last time too, that you're experiencing that repressed anger. And we're not even going to work on it today, I'm going to tell you, because there's this part of you that is putting up a boundary right now. Like the second I said that, and she's like, I don't want to get into anger right now. Like, I'm not ready to do that. Like, I'm happy being here. I'm happy where I am. Thank you. I'm not doing that. And that's totally understandable. And we're going to respect that boundary, because there will be times for you to be able to open up to anger and express anger. But and you know, tell me if I'm correct, but I just feel like there's this aspect of you that is like, no, that's not happening right now. Do you get what I'm saying, or do you feel a different way?
I feel like I'm pretty open about my anger. I guess I remember from that last session, I remember you saying to try to think of like things that I might be angry about that don't have to do with my ex-partner, and my dad came up, of course, you know, and so I was like, okay, now I have to heal this relationship with my dad somehow, which is really the basis of all my other relationships and my, you know, my counterparts, I guess. And
so if you're open to the anger, would you want to do the same exercise that Ruby did the other day with me? You can say yes
and
or
scream.
No. It doesn't have to be a scream. It could be any type of emotional expression to help you get that anger out. It could be like a growl. It could be like whatever expression comes to you. People express it in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, I could feel like
so just stop for a second, feel into your body and feel, is this a yes or is it a no? Is there a layer of resistance that is like, I don't want to do that right now, or is there an opening and a receiving that is saying, I want to receive this exercise right now? Feel into yourself. You get to decide yes or no.
I guess I just don't. I want to, but I feel resistance because I don't want to like scare my roommates.
So this is not okay with your boundaries right now. So you want to do the exercise, but the fact that your roommates are here, it's like a no for you right now. So we're gonna respect that. Yeah. So maybe that's why I intuitively felt like you didn't want to work on the anger right now, because like maybe it's like a level of uncomfort at this very moment. Does that make sense? Like, not that you don't want to work on anger, but you don't want to, like, right now is not the time, is basically what I was getting.
Yeah, you're right.
But I honor the fact that you're like, yeah, I'll work on anger. Like, it's working on the anger is not the problem. So it's just right now, that's not what your focus needs to be, basically. And so when we're talking about heart chakra healing, which is really what we're talking about, by the way, when we bring up the relationship with your father and the other relationships you spoke of, we're really talking about heart chakra healing, and healing those emotional wounds. So the best thing that you can actually do for someone who needs heart chakra healing is to tell them that they get the decision to decide yes or no, to give them back their choice, because it's feeling into your power, and it's feeling into the idea that, you know, yes, I deserve to decide yes or no, because, you know, when people need heart chakra healing, I feel like it very closely ties into like if the heart chakra healing hasn't happened or more needs to happen more correctly, it's this level of like you've been so suppressed within your relationships and within like the pain that you've been caused, that you need to get back to this feeling, this innate feeling of learning, like I get a choice, I get to say yes or no, I get to decide when it happens. I just feel like those they closely tie into one another. So I just wanted to say that. So is there anything from watching the chakra, like things that have come up for you? Do you want to get deeper into what you were talking about just now, or what are you feeling right now, Marina?
Did you mean like saying yes or no within myself, whether I want to like take part in healing these relationships or starting these relationships, or
Definitely that's a part of it,
ending these relationships?
Definitely it's a part of it, but more so I was just talking about connecting yourself back to your innate power, that says like I have the choice. Because whenever we're talking about heart chakra healing, there's usually a lot of healing that needs to be done in the solar plexus as well. They're two areas.
I know I have the choice. Like I actually like have been thinking about it for a while and already kind of like ripped my dad off as dead pretty much in a lot of ways, and like didn't even feel bad about it, which it sounds bad, but I mean like I literally was like, if they all just died right now, I honestly wouldn't. I would be a little bit sad, but it would be like, it'd be like, okay, not much has changed in my life, really. Like,
stop right there, because I want to center you into
horrible?
what's happening. No, it's not horrible. It's not horrible, and I want to center you into what's happening here. There are multiple aspects of you talking. There was one aspect of you that you are being authentic with. That is the aspect of you that is like, fuck no, I'm not going to start a relationship with them. They've hurt me too much. I'm not doing it. I have to be inauthentic when I'm around them. They don't care about the fact that they've hurt me. They don't want to hear about the fact that they've hurt me, and I'm not doing it. And so I don't care if they're living or dead, because I want to live my life and I want to only be affected by my life. And then immediately the aspect of you that does love them because they're innately human and would never wish anything bad on them had to come up and be like, I wouldn't be like, obviously I would be sad. So it's like these two aspects of you talking. Because
I'd be sad for them because they're human beings and they deserve to live out their life, but
that's a different fragment of you. That's a different fragment of you. So you're taking in multiple fragments right now. You weren't able to just tell us this one fragment of Marina that's like, I really don't care if they're alive or dead, because that's a part of your innate truth on one level, the fragment of you that is like, I just don't want to do it. I'm so tired of caring about them, and that's why I don't care. It has nothing to do with wishing harm on them. It has to do with the part of yourself who is so fucking hurt by them that she can't even deal with thinking about them to the level of, you know, oh my God, are they okay? Or like, how are they doing? You know, because it's still a level of you taking your energy away from you to be placed on them. That's why. Yeah. That's why she can't go there. That's why she can't do it. And it's not to be mean. It's because she is so damn hurt. So really, so I want you to tune into this aspect of you, because I feel like you don't always get to bring her up. And I feel like a lot of the time she might get invalidated because, you know, it's hard to understand this piece of you that is like, no, I don't care. I'm not going to connect with my dad, because in social context and stuff, we have so many like core beliefs about like, oh my God, like, you know, like you should always be connected to your parents. They're your parents and stuff like that. So I feel like she gets misunderstood a lot of the time and invalidated a lot of the time. So that's why I want to talk to her today. Do you feel like you could connect with her?
I don't hear you.
You don't hear me? we'll give her a moment. Can you guys type in the chat box? Is Marina's screen gone blank for you? Can you still hear her?
Oh, no.
Can you? Okay, so I'm just gonna give it a second, and I turn my video off to help reboot her shit. Marina. Okay. If she doesn't come, can you guys hear me? By the way, you guys were commenting on what I was saying, so you can hear me. That's good. That's a good start. Okay, so she left, and I think that she's gonna be rejoining. So we'll give her a moment. If anybody wants to unmute their mic and comment or say anything, feel free. I'm just gonna give her a good minute to, to reclaim her spot and say goodbye if she wants to. So if anyone wants to unmute their mic and just say hi or what's up while we're waiting for this little freeze to go past. I invite you guys to do that. Okay. Okay, she's joined. So Marina, if you can hear me now, we're waiting on you. We wanted to give you the opportunity to rejoin. Yeah, cool.
Yay! Sorry, it just went out. I'm in the jungle, so there's like not very good Wi-Fi here.
I can imagine. Well, that's awesome that you're in the jungle. I want to be in the jungle. Can I come where you're at?
Yes, you definitely can.
Oh my god.
You all are welcome.
Yeah. All right, group trip to Marina's. We're going to the jungle.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So I just wanted to keep you on, to give you the opportunity to just did you want to go into that fragment quickly, or do you feel like you want to move on to the next exercise? What are you feeling?
Which fragment?
So the fragment of you that is basically like, hell no, I don't want this relationship with them. I wanted to acknowledge her.
Okay, I'm in that space, yeah.
Okay, so I want you to just feel.
I've been kind of more in that aspect lately.
So I want you to literally speak to her. I want you to literally validate her, because I feel like she needs that, because I feel like she feels like a bad guy some of the times, and she feels like, oh, I'm such a monster for not wanting connection with my family, right? So I want you to be able to just talk to her. Is there anything that you would say to her now that we're directly like thinking of her and talking to her? Is there anything you could say to validate her?
Yeah, I would tell her it's okay to cut them off, and it's okay to write like a goodbye letter to them, and it's okay to drop my last name if that's something that makes me feel like I can expand further after that. Like I'm not. Is that? But I don't know. I mean, that's something that I feel, but I don't know if it's totally true, and I'm just bypassing actually healing the relationship.
By talking about this aspect and by talking about her desires, you get to acknowledge the fact that she has these desires without deciding to physically do them. So it's healthy to say, I do have these desires, and you don't have to act on them right away, but to just acknowledge them and to say that, yes, it could be right to do that for you. Totally. You don't have to decide if this is the ultimate truth of what you're going to do right here, right now. You don't ever have to decide that like in a forced way. But like, yeah, like acknowledge her. Like she has a desire to drop her last name, to write them a goodbye letter, and to never talk to them again. That's the truth of how this aspect of you feels, and you got to honor that. That's the first step, is to honor the fact that this is real for you. This is what you're feeling right now.
Okay.
So can you tell her that you honor her decisions, even if you don't know if you're going to act on them yet? Can you just say, like, I honor the fact that you need that. I honor the fact that you want that.
Okay, I honor the fact that I need this, and that I feel this way, and that I feel like I would be stepping into my own even more if I did this too.
So how does that feel? How does that feel to be acknowledged for what you want instead of telling yourself that, like, you know, this is the bad guy decision and this makes me a monster for wanting this, and like I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. Like all these other aspects that are coming in and are shaming this aspect of you. How does it feel to finally say, hey, you deserve that if you want it. You can decide that. You can make those decisions. You're able. You're capable. You are allowed.
It feels like it feels good, but it also feels like I'm cold, and that like I didn't that I'm kind of a cold, like I just that I didn't just at least hold some space for them to be there in the future, but that I actually, that it was just that I cut it off, that it's cold, that it's just not very heart, it's not very heart opening, I guess.
But you know, this is a piece of yourself, and so
that
if
it
you
might
want to
be
move,
heart closing, and that it might be
so
like
here's the
teaching
thing.
me to
Here's the
make a
thing.
pattern of just closing people off.
I
I don't
understand
know.
what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I totally honor what you're saying. So I'm gonna get behind what you're saying right now. So yes, it feels very cold, and it feels like you're not giving them the chance and opportunity to change, and that feels more like, okay, am I closing my heart then because I'm doing that? But like if you're coming from a place of self-love, and if you're coming from a place of love for yourself and the universe and what you think is best to you, and not,
yeah, for me it feels safer to close them off at this point.
So you're honoring yourself. You have a positive intention behind that. Again, you never have to commit to that decision. No. Okay, let me know if the connection comes back in.
I can't hear you.
Can anybody else type in the chat box if they can hear me and if, you know, it's still good for them? Marina is completely frozen. Okay, thank you, Gabriel. So I'm also just taking the opportunity to recharge my device because of the disconnection problem with Marina. Okay. So Marina, if you're listening, I just really want to acknowledge that last piece of what we were talking about, and I just want to say, and whether you're watching this on the recording or whether you're hearing this now, can you hear me now, Marina?
I'm hearing you again. I lost you, and then I'm back again.
Okay, awesome. So what I really want to say to what we've been talking about, and what I really want to acknowledge here, is feeling into these aspects of yourself. I want you to specifically feel into the aspect of yourself that feels cold and feels like she wants to cut them off forever, okay? So while I'm talking directly to her, really. And I want to tell her that, hell, it is okay for her to feel like that. It is understandable for her to feel like that, but she never has to act on it until she's ready to make that decision. And this is how we know that it's not heart closing and that it is honoring yourself. It is not heart closing to say that I have these desires and I have these fears. If you would actually do it and force yourself to do it out of anger and out of coldness and out of fear, then yes, it could be closing off your heart. But if you're just acknowledging the desire, that's self-love. If you're acknowledging that you have these desires and that you have a right to have these desires, that's coming from a place of self-love, and that is heart opening. Just because you have the desire to never talk to them again does not mean that, like, all of a sudden a button gets pressed and, you know, you're fast forwarding 50 years from now and you haven't talked to them in 50 years. Like, your desire to do this is understandable, And yes, it could be closing your heart off if you did it, but there's also, you know, ways that you could be still opening your heart and doing this. So there could be, you know, an essence where your heart is open, and is closing them off to protect yourself. Because obviously if you have someone that is just not willing to work with you, and if you do make the decision that you don't want to work with them anymore because, you know, they've cut you off connection wise and they just feel abusive, you know, whether it's your father or anyone in the world, it doesn't matter. If they're hurting you, they're hurting you. And so I just wanted to say that, yes, it could be self-loving to cut them off, because you could be opening yourself up to the rest of the world, and you can all, you know, even if you're cutting them off, you can still say, I'm sending you love from afar. I'm wishing you love from afar, but I don't want anything to do with you anymore. And that doesn't have to be your heart space closing off, because you're still acknowledging them as a person, but you just don't want them in your life anymore. And that is a boundary. That's a boundary, and it's self-loving to make. If you want to make it, that's the self-loving decision. So just response to that moment where you're like, oh, like I feel like I'm like out of the heart space if I do that, because we have all these like social connotations about like, oh, you should always be close to your family and you should always, you know, have things good with your family. But no, it could be a boundary for you that I want nothing to do with my family, and that's your boundary.
I think it is. I think that's what it is that it's finally stating my boundaries instead of like just being continually invalidated.
Hell yeah. And like, here's the thing is like, even if you listen to this aspect of yourself who's like, I need space for them, I have a boundary of not having them in my life, you can still leave the option open to, you know, maybe one day if it feels right, I'll connect with them. And you can still honor your boundary of not connecting with them right now, and understanding that the future is always open to change. It's always subjective to your change, and it's always subjective to you healing that aspect of yourself and feeling a different way. So just acknowledging that you have the power to change that decision at any point, and it's not like you're making it permanent and then like it's never gonna have, you know, a repercussion from that again, that you're, you know, you're gonna be stuck in that essence forever, you're gonna be stuck in that decision forever. You know, if it's right for them to come back into your life, they will, and that's it, you know. So thank you so much for opening up about that today, and for coming on and working with us on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashton, so much. I appreciate it, and all of you very, very much.
So I wanna see if anyone else wants to come on live to work with me right now. So thank you again so much, Marina. It was beautiful working with you. And you know, just reminding everybody watching that Marina's experience is here to help you too. I know that Agaya has very similar you know, feelings going on. I can see that she can really relate to you, and I know that lots of other people watching feel the same. Hi, Gabriel.
Hello, Ashton.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing well today. Thank you.
Just to let you know what's happening, I'll turn the video back on in a second. I was just giving my device some repause because of the disconnection problems with Marina. I wasn't sure if I was a part of that in any way.
Okay.
How are you doing today? And you know, how did you feel about the exercises that you watched and the content that I put out there today, and where are you feeling with that?
But did you put anything out there today? Anything else? Because
just what I was talking about live with you guys just now on the chakras.
Okay. So, yeah, I think I want to follow up on the solar plexus chakra,
Okay.
and it's also something somehow connected to my parents. And thanks again, Marina, for sharing this all with us. And I have a parent thing also, which I kind of feel I want to bring in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's can we have your video back?
Yeah.
If it's not troubling you, because I think
I'm gonna turn it back
me.
on in like literally 1 minute. I'm just giving my system like a chance to reboot so it doesn't like freeze on
Okay.
me or anything.
Okay, sure. So I have been doing some discovery work the last days, and some trauma came up, which I feel is still somehow on my mind and still somehow present in my field. And it's like feeling powerless with my parents and not being acknowledged in a way. I think there's a core experience which is most present in the feel of the whole of it. And that's when I was 10 years old, we moved from Berlin to a small village near Osnabrück. And that was like, okay, we're doing this now, you have no say, and this is happening, and we don't care if you don't like it.
Oh, Jesus.
Actually, we pretend like the whole family likes it, and you dare not speak otherwise.
Oh,
which
Jesus.
Has been like basically going on ever since. So this was never, they never realized what, how I felt towards this. And also they never, well, it also didn't work out for them in terms of what they were hoping for and what they were planning.
Yeah.
And which they also never quite got around to admitting, by and large, to some extent maybe, but and
this was really hard for you. This is really hard for you, and it
really hard. So we still have this image in my head of like, which really pans out in other areas of my life, like sitting in this car in the back seat and like someone else is driving, and like you're sitting there like, no, go that way, and he's just not listening. And it's the most frustrating thing to experience.
So I feel like this is one of the earliest memories that you have, that you remember, that relates to feeling like you didn't have a say or you didn't have power in the situation. Because your parents were basically like, look, there is no way in hell that you're going to stand up to me and tell me that you don't like this, because this is what's happening. And that feels fucking horrible to a child. Because, like, at the very least, they could have approached the topic like, you know, like, could you talk to us about your feelings about this? Like, could we at least hear the fact that you don't like this? Like, even if they had to do it anyways, and they could, you know, talk to you about why they had to do it and help you move through it, the fact that they weren't even open to listening to the fact that you didn't like it probably felt fucking horrible.
Well, and also they didn't like acknowledge that it was horrible. Like it was not only bad experience, but also like, no, listen, this was actually a good experience. Look at the nice place we got there, and look at the nature, and blah, 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 blah.
So almost narcissistic in telling you that you did like what was happening.
Yes.
Well, I'm really, really sorry that you had to go through that. So you feel like this experience was being brought to the surface for healing, basically, is why you're, this is basically rising to the surface for healing right now, is what I'm getting.
Yes.
So is there anything that we could say to that little Gabriel who had like zero say, and like not even zero say, his parents were literally narcissistically being like, no, you do like this. Like, I know that your internal guidance system is telling you that you hate this right now, but too bad for you, because you know what? I've decided that you like this. I've decided that you're going to like this situation. Like, how horrible does that sound to say that to a little kid, that like, oh, actually, you're gonna you know, you're gonna freaking love this situation and you're just gonna deal with it. Like it's literally taking your power away, and it's also taking you away from your internal guidance system. And this is probably the moment of trust, one of the major or first moments where you broke trust for yourself and you broke trust for your internal guidance system, because they were basically telling you that the truth of what you felt was wrong and that you should listen to them, which creates a level of distrust for yourself, which creates a level of distrust for the entire universe, right? Like if you can't even have the answers to what you feel in your own life, then that completely disconnects you from the ability to feel trust for the universe. If you can't even trust yourself and what you're feeling, how can you trust the universe? And this is like the number one way that that society has come into our lives, and our parents have come into our lives to basically take our power away and disempower us and keep us and teach us that we don't have trust for ourselves. And also in this situation, I want to say that when I was saying before to Marina about taking decisions and making choices and being able to say yes or no, this is really, really important for your healing right now, Gabriel, and for anyone's healing who feels like they're on the same path of trusting themselves again and integrating the part of themselves that felt disempowered, is giving yourself choices and showing yourself like, yes, I do get to say yes or no. Yes, I do get to show my power.
Yeah, this is actually how I got into this discovery. It was about a medium to big choice about a travel I want to do or maybe not do, and having a lot of trouble with this decision, and this spiraled back to this experience.
So what do you have to say to the little boy? Because I like he came into this conference call. Let's not forget him.
Okay.
So what do you want to say to him? I mean, from the experience that he's went through, he just got like ripped away from the place that he loved. He got ripped away from his friends, and he was literally being brainwashed into thinking that he had to like it and he didn't have a choice.
So I think it's important to tell him that this feeling what he has was right and was like my guidance, and as that he wasn't feeling wrong, but he just wasn't allowed to express it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk to him right here, right now, and I want you to just step into the role of receiving, and I want you to really receive from the place of this little boy. So you were listening to your feelings. You were listening to the indicator that you didn't like what was happening and that it was hurtful for you. You had to deal with so much by leaving, and your parents didn't acknowledge that, and that was really horrible. And I'm sorry that they didn't acknowledge that, and I'm sorry that they didn't listen to you. And guess what? You deserve to tell them when you don't like something. And it was wrong of them to hurt you like that and to shut you down like that. It was not okay. It was not nice. They were not thinking of you, and it probably felt really fucking horrible. I know that I would feel horrible if somebody treated me that way, and I'm really sorry that you had to go through that. Is there anything that you want to add or that you want to say to him? Because he really needs acknowledgement, and this is really important that we acknowledge him in all that he's feeling.
What I would really need to add is like that, like I need him, like I need this part back, and he's important to me, and that he needs to be an important part of my life. Like I need this ability to feel in these situations.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're saying that you need him to be, sorry, I'm almost confused a bit on what you meant there. So if you could rephrase for me and any other lost duckling that's also confused.
So what I was saying is, like, I feel like for a long time I pushed him away to like feed off this into this illusion of my parents, and that I want to bring him back into me and
Integrate. Yes. Okay, cool.
yes.
It's funny because when you said that, the only thing I heard was integrate, and I heard it from myself or from my guides or something. But I was like, I have no idea what he said. I know it's to do with integration, but I have no idea what he said. So like, I'm just gonna clear. I was like, maybe I'll just move ahead with the integration. But I'm glad I
really
double
want to
checked.
embrace this part of me, which felt this.
So
And
let's
really,
work on that, because that's what we've already been doing. We've been talking to him, so we want to integrate him. We want to help him integrate, and so we're going to work on that right here, right now. So I want you to go back to what it felt like to be that little boy as much as possible from his perspective. I want you to feel what he was feeling, see what he was seeing, any pieces or memories that come up of the way that you were treated or the way that your parents were speaking to you. I want you to really start by validating your pain and your experience of the situation from first person perspective. Now, is there anyone that we could call in to come in and give Gabriel a hug and like a talking to, like a safe support figure that is going to come in and acknowledge his feelings, because his parents clearly aren't doing that?
I want to call in Inanna for helping me with this.
Okay. So we're calling in Alana for helping you with this. And what is she gonna say? What is she gonna say to this inner child? I want you to help embody her into this situation. What would she say to you? What do you need her to say? What do you need her to say? Do you need her to ask you how you're feeling? What do you need from her? I want you to let that happen.
She is. It's really okay to feel this way.
Absolutely. So she's saying to Gabriel, it's okay to feel this way. I acknowledge that you're going through this. Acknowledge that your parents have been really mean to you in this situation, and that they're not thinking of you, and that they're not, taking into account your needs and your emotional system, and you as a person and a being who has emotional expression and who has a right to freedom and who has a right to how he feels. Because this is the most horrible thing that parents can do to us and that society does to us, is to tell us that our feelings are wrong and that they have to be a certain way, because our feelings are our innate expression of the soul. It's our soul here on earth. The soul literally splits off into feelings. The soul splits off into your mind. The soul splits off into your body. So feelings are literally an aspect of who you are as a human being. And the fact that they're denying them and they're saying they're wrong and they're saying that they have to be a certain way is complete emotional abuse. It's complete emotional abuse, and we have to acknowledge that. But it's not okay to treat you that way. It's really not. And part of this type of treatment is sometimes feeling like it is okay, because it feels better to say it's okay than to say that I was emotionally abused by my parents, right? Sometimes it feels better to just be like, oh, it doesn't matter, or there's nothing wrong with that. Most parents are like that. This takes us out of victim mode, but not in a healthy way. And it's usually where the victim wants to go to the second that they realize that they're a victim in the situation.
It's been happening, like playing this down, like. Wasn't
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad. It really was bad. It was really fucking horrible.
Exactly. It was for a child and for who you were at that time. It was excruciating to have to go to have to go through that experience and to have no one that understood you and said like, look, Gabriel, you have a right to feel fucking horrible about this situation. Nobody gave you that permission, and that's excruciating for a child. So I want you to acknowledge his feelings. So he was cut off from his feelings in this moment, and he was told his feelings are not valid. So I want you to go into how he was actually feeling. So we're pausing your mom and dad. They're not allowed to interact with him right now at all. They're not allowed to say anything on this situation. So let's go into how Gabriel was feeling. How were you feeling as this little boy? I want you to allow the feeling to come up.
I was feeling like terrified. There was a totally alien place, and I didn't know anyone there, and I didn't know what to expect. And I haven't seen this like ever before, and we're gonna live there. And there are these people I knew who are now like basically gone. Like, this is, for a child, this is really far away.
Oh, yeah. So I want Alana to come in and to be like, I'm sorry that you were so freaking terrified. I'm sorry that, you know, you didn't know anyone there and you felt like, what the hell is happening to me? I'm sorry that you had to go through that and that you didn't have anyone to listen to you while you were going through that. So she's just acknowledging him, and I want you to tune in emotionally to this aspect of your childhood self, Gabriel. What do you emotionally need as this little boy? Do you need her to give you a hug? Do you need for her to take you away from the situation? She could potentially give your parents a talking to. Maybe she could bring in one of your childhood friends from the place that you had just come from. Like, what does Gabriel emotionally need? The little boy inside you that feels this way, what does he need?
He needs, what he needs most is like to get out of this car and have his own mode of like movement or car or getting someplace, which is like independent from my parents.
So we're gonna give that to him. What car does he want? What car does he want?
I like to have a hippie van.
Sorry, what?
A hippie van.
Awesome. So he's getting a hippie van. We're giving this little boy a hippie van, and he's gonna be the youngest little boy driving a hippie van ever. So give him the hippie van. Where is he gonna go? Where is he gonna escape to?
Okay. Just for a second, I need to get over myself, because these things do not have to be rational, right? Like this is something in my conditioning, like this have to be weird, and like just literally off this earth and going to the stars for a moment.
So this hippie van has a rocket ship. So we're installing a rocket ship body onto this hippie van then. So where do you want to go? Is there like a specific planet? Do you just like, you want to make your own planet? Like, you have to have a location. Where is he going?
Arcturus.
Arcturus. So he's taking this hippie van straight to freaking Arcturus. So allow him to have that feeling. Allow him to feel that freedom as he's breaking through the Earth's atmosphere on his magical freaking hippie van. And he's going to Arcturus, and that's what he wants, and that's what he deserves. So this is you literally breaking into your safe haven almost right now. Is you're getting out of there. You're like, I did not feel safe there. I'm going to Arcturus. So who's meeting you on Arcturus? Can you feel into the beings? Do you get like a name or anything, or is there any like description that you can give to the beings he would meet there or the place he would be when he got there. I want you to just make this as real as possible for yourself. Connect into Arcturus, who's there waiting for this little boy right here, right now. Anything that comes up is fine and completely valid.
There's someone from my soul family there. Like blue being, I guess.
A blue being,
Like,
you said?
Yeah.
So that's one of the skin.
Really
That's one of the skin tones on Arcturus. They have like between like
This-
green, purple, and blue. So there you go.
Like,
So
really hugging this boy and telling him it's okay. And
what do they want to do together? What do they want to do together now that they're on Arcturus together? What does he need? Does he need to like play? Is he gonna go to like some like epic like Arcturus jungle gym or like? See, the thing about Arcturus is that there's a level to the dimensional level where basically anything can happen. So what do you want to happen? Because you're on freaking Arcturus, so you're limitless right now. You got like all your possibilities on the table.
just exploring around and like meeting the natives, I guess.
So I have a question. I have a question for this little boy. If like he could get like if he was allowed to wear anything he wanted on Arcturus, what would like are they gonna like so this blue being, he's gonna show up with clothes for him to wear, and I want you to tell us what they look like. What would he be wearing here? He could wear anything he wants.
This is like this yellow robe with like with these white sleeves like magic robes have, and a head, like pointy head.
So he gets to wear that, and he gets to explore Arcturus. So just feel into any sense of that energy that you can pick up on. What would it be like to be a little boy exploring on Arcturus? Just allow that to come in through your heart chakra right now. What would it feel like? What does it feel like to be doing this right here, right now? And you don't have to speak with words, but if you do, that is awesome as well. You could just feel into it. You don't have to express it if you don't want to.
It feels so spacious.
Yeah, hell yeah. And he has people there to actually listen to him, like his blue being friend and the other beings on Arcturus. They're there to support him and listen to him, and he gets to adventure, and like he knows everybody. This feels like home to him, right? So
Yes.
like he already knows everybody on that planet anyways. So like he's not alone there. I want you to take in the fact that he doesn't have to be alone there. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
with all these people actually like facing him and listening to him.
So we're gonna go through a portal on Arcturus right now, and believe it or not, this portal is gonna take you right back to where we started. It's gonna take you right back into that situation with your parents, and the reason that is because we want to integrate this aspect and then take him back to Arcturus. So you're gonna go through this portal of white light, and you're back in the memory with your parents.
Okay.
What do you need to happen in that situation? Do you need your parents to have a talking to you? Do you just need to, acknowledge the fragments that need to come back to you with Arcturus? Do you need to acknowledge the little boy's pain? What is left undone in this memory with your parents?
Someone needs to talk to my parents on this boy's behalf.
Okay. So is Alana gonna do that for you, or who's gonna do
It's-
that for you?
Sorry to correct you. It's Inanna, the goddess.
Ilana?
Inanna.
I felt like I got that name wrong, so I totally respect the correction. I'm an intuitive, so I was like, I know I'm not getting the name right, but I'm gonna have to say it anyways.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
Ilana
I think with an N.
with an N?
Yeah.
Can you say it one more time?
Inanna.
Okay, is there any other safe support figure that you have for me to say her name? I'm totally kidding, but not really at the same time.
But it's okay. She doesn't mind if you tell her name wrong. She totally doesn't. Thank you, Pia.
Thank you, Pia. The written does everything. Okay, so Inanna. Inanna?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I think
I'm glad that we all have this sorted. I'm glad that we figured this out. Oh, sending love, Pia. Okay, so Inanna. I really hope that's said correctly. I'm gonna it's not really a Westerner like word, so like I'm gonna feel awkward every time I say it, but I'm trying my best over here. Okay, so Inanna is gonna come in and she's gonna speak to your parents for you. So what do you want to be the one that sort of embodies her and speaks to them, or do you need to be the receiver and I can do that for you?
I think I can do this. Let me.
So go for it. We're all here supporting you in
Yeah.
this.
Look at this boy. You need to really turn around and look at him and see how he's feeling. And like, this is not okay telling him how you feel. You need to ask him how you feel. And you need to drop these fantasies about like your great decisions and really look at your little boy and how he feels.
Absolutely.
Okay,
how do they respond to that?
And if you want to
Yeah.
add on this.
So you need to really look at this little boy and you need to understand that he is a part of your life. He is gifting you his energy. And the best thing that you can do for yourself and do for him is to acknowledge him and to acknowledge the fact that he has innate wisdom within him. He does have a say. He's allowed to have an emotional body. And even if you guys feel that there is no other way besides moving, there is a way to deal with the situation and interact with Gabriel that is not completely traumatizing. And you guys need to grow up, you need to take initiative, and you need to be there for him in a real way. And you need to basically just grow up in this situation and honor the fact that your Gabriel, he has wisdom. He has wisdom that you guys don't even have. And you need to honor him, and you need to teach them that it is okay to have an emotional system, and it is okay to speak up for himself, and it is okay to listen to the indicators that he is going through something really horrible for him, and he needs to honor that within himself, and he deserves that. How do you want this situation to deal with now? Do you want your safe support figure to basically tell them to leave and like not come back? Like, what do you need to happen? You get to make this happen, work whatever way you want to.
I feel like they need to acknowledge how I felt, how I feel.
So I think that this is something that should really come from your part. So I want to give you a moment to acknowledge that. Whether it's just within your own body or out loud, you get to decide. Is it going to be something you're expressing to the group, or are you just going to take a moment to do this within yourself? I want you to.
I'm sorry, I didn't get. Didn't
Yes.
get colorful, so-
Do you want to acknowledge what Gabriel is feeling within yourself, or do you want to acknowledge it to the group? Because this is something that you're going to have to act on and take action on. So I want to just give you the options that you can do it within your own body, or you can help the group be a part of this processing. Am I still
I'm not sure
confusing
how
you?
this works if that bring the group in this.
So all I'm saying is just speaking out loud to us or speaking inside your own body to yourself. So do you need to express it to yourself or do you need to express it outwardly, basically?
Like to myself, like inwardly.
Okay, so take a moment to do that. Take a moment to literally close your eyes, feel into this little boy that is Gabriel, and I want you to allow him to express to you anything he needs to tell you about this situation and how he was feeling, and allow yourself to validate him and be there for him. So just continue to express to him anything that he needs to say to you, and you don't have to fix anything for him. All you have to do is acknowledge the fact that he has these feelings and that it is okay he has them and that he's feeling this way. So in this moment, I don't want you to open your eyes until I get you through this moment. So I want you to literally take these fragments that have been surrounded around this moment. And by the way, I'm intuitively getting that there's 35 different fragmentations that all feel the same way that Gabriel felt in this situation. So we want to invite all 35 of these fragments to step back through that portal and go to Arcturus. So we're inviting all 35 aspects to come. We're inviting Ina to come. We're inviting any archangels or any specific beings that you feel safe with to come. And you're completely surrounded by white light. And you pop up through that portal and you're back on Arcturus with your blue being and with your magical hippie band that brought you there. And I want Gabriel to choose an element. So whether it be crystals, whether it be water, whether it be and crystals really represent Earth anyways, but on Arcturus it would represent the star system of Arcturus, I guess. Instead of Earth, because you're not on Earth right now. So which method of healing do you want to use? Like what vortex? Cool.
Sure.
Is there a specific type of crystals, or is this like a multifaceted, like a whole bunch of different types?
I feel most connected to tourmalines.
Tourmaline?
Yeah.
Okay, so is it like black tourmaline or just tourmaline in general?
Like all colors that come in.
Okay, cool. So you are like in this like vortex garden of tourmaline right now. There's literally tourmaline all around you in like this big globe. And you are completely surrounded by your soul family on Arcturus and all the Arcturian beings that you are soul tribe with, that you know, and just the beings of Arcturus are coming to support you in this. And you're completely surrounded by this tourmaline. Now, are you ready to invite these fragments to come in through you in this vortex of healing to integrate back into you? If you ask them, can you intuitively tell, are they ready to do this? Are they still resisting it? What's happening?
Yeah, I feel they're kind of ready, they're a bit hesitant.
That's okay if they're hesitant. The fact that they're open to the idea is what we want to work with. So you don't have to force them to do this. Just see if they will be able to. You don't have to force them in because obviously that's not integration. But just allow them to start the process of trying to do this. So I want you to choose an entry point into your body that they're going to integrate into. It could be your heart space. It could be a point on your shoulder, like it anywhere. Like, where do you feel that it would? It's just to show you that it doesn't have to be the heart space. A lot of the time, I suggest the heart space, but I want you to intuitively feel into where they would integrate.
I think it's on my back between the shoulder blades, like.
Okay. So we're gonna allow them to come in through that location, through the back on your through the part of your back in between your shoulder blades. And I want you to just invite them in one by one. So the ones that feel more ready to integrate with you, allow them to step up to the plate first. And literally just allowing them to enter your body through the back between your shoulder blades, coming in one by one, moving in through every cell in your body, moving in and integrating with your emotional system, with your bloodstream, with your mind, with your bones, with your auric field, merging and becoming one with you, with all aspects of you, and allowing one by one for these fragments to show up and to integrate. Now, this is something that that my presence and that I'm going to help you with, but at the same time, it's something that you really need to do on your own. So I'm here and I'm helping you, but I want you to take just a couple of moments or minutes, as long as you need, to allow this integration to really set in. And we're all going to be present with you while this happens. And you tell us when you feel that it has happened, that you're done. Allowing yourself this time, not needing to rush this time. Allowing yourself this space of healing and integration. We're all here supporting you, helping you, and allowing you to take this time for yourself. This is important. Give yourself permission to go through with this. This is very important for you. And you don't need to force anything. If there's any sense of resistance from any fragment or any aspect of yourself that has gone through this experience, let that fragment, let that piece of yourself know that he doesn't have to heal today and he can integrate later on or anytime that he's ready. This doesn't have to be forced at all. This is only whatever healing and integration you are ready for today. You don't have to force any part of yourself to be ready that is not ready. Within this tourmaline vortex, allowing the merging and integration of all these aspects, allowing them to become whole with you again, allowing them to unify with you again. You telling them, I'm here for you as you are. I'm here for you in this moment. I'm here for you fully. And there are so many other beautiful beings right here supporting you in this healing. You deserve them to be there for you in this healing process. You don't need to be alone anymore. You have all these beautiful beings right here with you, supporting you. This is your time. We are honoring that you need this moment of integration. We are honoring this time, and you do not have to worry about how long you're taking. This processing is at your own pace, as gently as you need to be with yourself, at your own pace. I honor that you're taking this time for yourself. I truly honor that. Continue to take this time for yourself. There's no one rushing you through this experience. You're infinitely supported, surrounded by your Victorian soul family, by Ina, by By all the beings of Arcturus, you're being supported in this process right now. You're being supported and allowing them to come home with you again.
Okay.
So, as this integration has taken place and honoring any aspects that felt like they couldn't integrate today, because that's okay too, but honoring this integration, allow this tourmaline vortex to break down as the integration has taken place, and step out in order to be hugged and greeted by your Arcturian family, in order to be hugged and greeted by Ina, in order to be accepted and loved as you are, standing there more whole, feeling more whole within yourself. I want you to ask yourself, is there anything else that I need to do here before I come back to Gabriel and his everyday present consciousness? Is there anything else that needs to happen on Arcturus?
Yes, I think I should ask to take a small piece of the crystals with me.
Awesome. So put them in your pocket, or maybe these are etheric Arcturian crystals. So like you can even like find a spot in your body to like allow them to like merge into. So allow these crystals to merge into your body in any way that feels right to you to become a part of, so that you could take a piece of this moment back to your earth life and back to who you are in your everyday life. Taking these crystals, placing them in your body. You could have multiple places. You could have one spot that feels best. You could take as many of these crystals home with you as you want to. You could take like this like huge chunk, if there's like a huge chunk that's like standing out to you. So allowing yourself to go back through the portal that brought you to Arcturus. You're taking your like awesome like hippie van and you're going back to Earth, and you're going back straight through the heart space back into Gabriel's present day moment. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and you can feel into the room around you. That was beautiful. How are you feeling now after that experience?
I feel relieved, I guess.
Yeah.
Like more whole.
Hell yeah. That's exactly what you needed, is to integrate this aspect of you. And this is a step in the direction towards activating your solar plexus and giving yourself that power again, is to go back to the situations where it was stolen from you in the first place. So thank you so much for coming on, Gabriel, and for sharing that experience with us, and for allowing us to be there for you in that experience as well.
So I just want to thank everyone for being here with me and for staying with me while I went through this with Ashen. And it's really great.
So, Astrid, Pia, and Angelica, you three ladies are the only ones who haven't spoken up yet. So even though I'm getting close to shutting the program down for today, if there is anyone of you, Astrid, Pia, or Angelica, that wants to say something or that wants to have a turn to comment on what they've experienced today, I invite you to unmute yourself, unmic yourself. I'd love to work with you. No one's making a move, and that's okay. Okay. Pia, I feel like maybe she's deciding. Maybe, I don't know.
Yes, hello. No, I just want to say that it's okay that I can share or say something, but I feel it's enough for me today. I'm really tired now because not because of it's boring or tiring to listen to.
I understand. You were integrating by watching them, so that's
it's as much as hard for me as for those who are speaking. So yes, it's enough for me today. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on and saying something and just like letting us know that. So I honor you for just saying hi then and for letting us know your boundary.
Yes, I tried to, and it was beautiful to hear everyone that was sharing and speaking. It was very good.
Well,
and Gabrielle, I feel that you are already more empowered.
Yeah.
Yes. Quick change.
And you'll have lots of opportunities to work one-on-one. So if you're not feeling it, I honor that, and that's totally okay.
Too tired. Okay.
Too emotionally exhausted after all that integration work with everyone.
Yes.
And I just want to acknowledge that I saw your message, Astrid, and I totally acknowledge that you feel anxious to do that right now, and I totally acknowledge that this is not something that you want to do right now, and I just want to let you know that that's okay. Then I honor that, and I honor even that you're pissed at yourself because of that. I honor you right now in all that you are. So I just wanted to say that. So does everybody who feels called, if you want to unmic yourself, I feel like Pia is thank you so much for coming on and speaking, Pia.
Yes, I'm finished. Thank you and bye.
Really
I'm checking out.
So I'm going to sleep, everybody.
Yes, bye. See you. Yes, bye.
Bye, everyone.
So anybody who wants, bye everybody. Bye, Gabrielle. Thank you so much for working with us today. Anybody who wants to unmic and just say something, and totally invite everybody to do so. Everybody's so tired. They're just like, I'm not going to unmic myself. That's like so much effort. And I totally honor that. If that's what's feeling for you
I just wanted to say I've got this massive urge to just give you all a big hug, but of course that's not possible. But just super happy to be with everybody, and it just feels really cool to meet you all on screen at least, or to connect. And so,
hell yeah, we're all meeting up in the astral right now, so I'm accepting that astral hug from you.
But I just can't wait to sort of talk more to everybody and share more and learn more from everybody else. And I'm just thrilled to bits, and it's fantastic. So,
hell yeah.
Pretty cool.
And there's even going to be opportunities for you guys to work one-on-one with each other. In fact, my course criteria kind of you're even required is to work with people one-on-one. When we're doing our soul retrieval, you're going to have a chance to actually meet up with the people that resonate with you in the group and work on your healing together one-on-one. So you're going to get that opportunity. That desire that you have is coming.
Excellent. Beautiful.
All right, guys, so I'm going to shut this off. Last goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today, for being present with me, and for sharing all your beautiful vulnerability, your beautiful vulnerable stories, and for being present with us and for showing up for us today. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Ashen. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
So much.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
It's hard to go.
I don't want to do
Really good.
I don't know how to stop this. I don't know. I'll find a way in a minute. Take care, babe. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What you want? What are you looking at? Come on in, let's go. Come on. You got it? You got it? Spirulina. Thanks, spirulina. Alright. Should we go over that, Chief? Friendly, I think. It's good for you.